You're watching Blunt Politics with Boston Brian.
Let's go. Welcome back. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics, the political podcast for everyday people by an everyday person. Thank you for joining me. We are very privileged once again to be joined by a very special guest. Before we bring him in, let me get into the chat, make sure everybody is welcomed and feeling feeling blessed today. I think everybody's feeling blessed now that we have Pastor Benjamin Dixon with us. So let me say hi to the chat. How's everybody doing? Turpy, thank you so much for your services. Crystal, how are you? Moms Russo, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're feeling well. Tiffany, thank you so much for your services. Jeff, how are you? Chris, Leah, Robert, Petrazi, Fancy, Bonnie, Lokita, Tamra, let's go. Left Wing Gorilla, how are you? Jenny Faye, how are you? Chris, Forever Young. Let's get right into it. Let me see if I can bring in the man, the myth, the legend, former TYT host, the host of the Benjamin Dixon Show, the one of the greatest, again, one of the best dressed. Again, everybody's making me step up my game. Last week it was Jesse Dollamore. This week it's Pastor Ben. So I appreciate his time. And let me see if I can press the right button and welcome him into the chat. I think it's one of these ones. There you are. How are you, my friend? How's everybody doing? I know you had a crash on your computer. Is everything all right?
Everything is good. I don't know what happened, but right before we started, it crashed, but I'm here just in time. Listen, man, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited about being here.
It is an absolute pleasure. I think I told my chat before that I am a product of TYT in some regard. When I first started in this, space, in the sphere, whatever you want to call it, some of the first people that I was listening to, Pac-Man, TYT, Midas Touch, a few others sprinkled in there, obviously BTC. You were on the network when I was watching it, so it's an honor to be able to, again, like I said, last week we got to speak with Jesse Dollamore, somebody I've been listening to for a long, long time, him and fantastic partner Brittany Page, who I've seen you on the show as well. So it's fantastic to be able to get to finally, somewhat face-to-face, get to chat with somebody that, you've grown up watching. So thank you for joining us. It's an honor and a privilege.
The honor is all mine, and I look forward to having you on my show as soon as we can arrange it.
That would be fantastic. I saw you jam into the intro music. People seem to dig the intro music. I like it.
Listen, you taking me back. Maybe you want to spit some bars. I'm like, listen, I ain't been a pastor all my life.
That's what I saw you doing. I'm so mad the mic was off.
I muted it. I said I don't want him to hear the bars in case. But I was freestyling a little bit. Pastor got a few bars, but
are they church safe bars or what?
Say
we
that
call
again.
them bars in Boston.
Yeah,
you gotta say them right. Bars.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's it. Oh man, and I love.
And I was
man, I don't mean to cut you off, but man, I
no, no.
absolutely treasure your accent, man. It makes me miss Boston. It makes me miss all of my mass hole friends. I absolutely love it, man.
I was just gonna say, it really, really surprised me to hear. I don't think I ever heard you bring it up on the network at all. Obviously, wasn't the point of what you were doing, but I never knew that you lived in Boston for some time. When was that, and where in the area were you?
Yeah, so I lived in Canton, which is on, not Boston proper, right beside the Loop.
Yeah, right next to the Braintree Plaza, because I used to live in Canton myself.
Yeah, yeah, and we used to commute in. My wife and I hop the train, drop the kids off, hop the train, the commuter rail into the city. Then I catch the red line to the green line all the way out to Cambridge, and I worked at HubSpot for about 3 years or 4 years actually. So I love Boston, man.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, it's really a pleasure to have you on the show. We have been focusing a lot over the past few weeks since the election, really, on where we can be better on the left, where progressives can be better. Not only be it messaging or how to promote our brand, so to speak, but also calling out people that are so-called progressives or so-called leftists that have now either Jared Moskowitz is a great example I keep bringing up with his, when he went on and praised Matt Gaetz as a competent AG for Attorney General of the United States of America. He also praised Elise Stefanik. He's had several little things. Fetterman calling for Joe Biden to pardon Donald Trump, like it's meaningless. His Truth Social account, and we've also looked at Cenk and Ana's, just tour of the right-wing ecosphere and again, I don't want, I'm not here to call anybody out really, so to speak, but as far as like people calling them out, we don't have a problem with them going to speak to these people. Right. It's how you speak and present yourself and the issues that bring up, and how if you can combat their ideals and their talking points, then it's worthwhile. But if you just go in there to bash on the left and agree with what you've been protesting against for all these years, then it's hurting the progressive movement. It's hurting our progressive, our messaging of what we're trying to do, because now we're combating this instead of talking about the real issues. You know what I mean? So what do you think about the recent shift in some of our what we thought would progressive fighters, basically?
That's been a one of the more disappointing parts of, it was bad enough that we are now saddled with 4 more years of Donald Trump. I think that's traumatic for anyone who actually, loves humanity. But then to see some heroes and then other people, like I was never really a huge fan of Fetterman. I liked him, right? But to see him go from being likable to being, just so many ways disgusting, let alone just the issue of him now calling.
We at least thought he was fighting to be, for the same ends as we were. Maybe he was not going about it in the way that we agreed with, but as an ally, I think that we could
exactly. And you get this feeling from so many people now that they're triangulating to cover their butts in a Trump administration. And the thing is that, what makes me the most disappointed about Cenk is that we need fighters. And Cenk is a fighter. Like I won't take that away from him. He's a fighter, but now he's chosen to do something else instead of fight. And so, but I do see an opportunity here, Brian, because we see so many voices. We see your platform. We see so many other people who are stepping up. And I love your audience. You call them Briantologists. I absolutely love it. I love that.
You know what? I almost was scared to bring it up because I know obviously the church is no joking matter to yourself, but it's more a play on the cult of Donald Trump. So we call it the Church of Briantology. They are the Briantologists. They call themselves the Lobsters as well, for a play on the Boston. So I'm blessed with a very dedicated, loyal, fantastic chat that not only support me but also go around and support many other left-wing creators on this platform. So you'll see these names that you'll see in here in the chat, in your chat, in everybody's chat. And we've been lucky enough Go ahead.
No, I
Sorry.
was gonna say, I think that's one of the opportunities here, right? So in this moment where so many of our heroes and people, I use heroes loosely here, but people we looked up to, we see them turning and going in the wrong direction. What it's done though, it is inspired and solidified and coalesced the leftist voice. Like we're able to say very clearly, okay, here's who we are, because we reject what people like Cenk are doing, or what Fetterman is doing, or what any number of people are doing as they try to cater to MAGA. We have a robust group of people in these chats, like shout out to the chat, who are saying, no, that's not who we are.
Right. Well, and I'd like to make a point, and Jesse made this point last week, where this isn't a drama thing. This is not about clickbait and just drama for drama's sake. This has a real purpose, because I believe that Cenk and Ana are doing real damage to our movement by going on these right-wing shows and calling us the radical, somehow painting us as the radicals and extremists, when they're talking to people like Glenn Beck and people like Charlie KIrk at Turning Point USA. It really, in my opinion, does us real harm, because now not only do these platforms have this clip of somebody that everybody thinks as the leader in the progressive movement, having over 6 million subscribers and been in the game so long, sitting there saying, you know what, he's agreeing with us, look, he's affirming our beliefs while shitting on the same people, pardon my French, as we're shitting on, so it's like, look, obviously we're doing something right, so let's just keep doing the same things, and it's like, he doesn't really ever call them out to their faces on the radical beliefs that they have. It's like, I would not mind you calling out the left for their things if you juxtapose that in the same position with what's going on in the right. Then at least you have in somewhat a level conversation. So just curious on what you think about that.
No, that's precisely correct, right? So it's not that the left is perfect and that we're above critique, right? That's not what it is at all. It's not the fact that they're going to these platforms. It's the fact that you're going to these platforms to crap on the left. Listen, I've lived in Boston long enough.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, listen, no, I'm saying you're gonna have to forgive me if I slip up. I need the audience to always keep in mind I am a prolific cursor. And I that's one of the things God had to deliver me from. So if I slip up, y'all charge it to my head and not my heart. But you're in good company is all I'm saying, Brian. But to see them going over there and doing what they do to defame and crap on the left, it really shows that they're offering us as a tribute to MAGA, saying, here, we will destroy the left for you. We'll talk bad about them for you so that you don't have to.
Right. And I have a couple clips to play. Not only you put out a fantastic video yesterday,
thank you.
Really kind of putting this to bed, I think, in your respect, where, if anything happens from here, we'll certainly call it out. But this is not like I said, this is not to beat a dead horse. This is not drama for drama's sake. We've said our piece.
Yes.
We've kind of made people aware of the fact that, when they're talking about, this, the crime propaganda, the trans propaganda, when they speak about these things. And Brittany Page just did a fantastic video the other day calling out Cenk and Ana for their, what was it, housing first nonsense that they were talking about. And that really, really breaks down. She did a fantastic job. Shout out to Brittany Page on that one. But I'm going to play the first minute of your video just so we can get a sense, the audience can get a sense of what the video is about. I got a few questions on it. First off, I want to just really show the audience who the kind of people we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about sitting down with Charlie KIrk, I mean, these are known and avowed white nationalists. These are people that have said they wouldn't get on the plane if the pilot was a black man. As I'll play now, talking about radical things such as, public executions that should be watched by 12-year-old children and should be sponsored by Coca-Cola and televised like the Super Bowl type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, these aren't good people. These aren't the people that I think you're going to be able to sway. And not only that, Turning Point USA is funded by billionaires themselves. So to go in there and to talk about the establishment on the left, and not call it doesn't make any sense. But if I can find this, let me. Oh, here it is, right here. Let me see if I can share this. How do I bring in this now? Here we go. StreamYard. Sorry, I'm going to try to bring this up myself. There we go. What the hell is going on? I do apologize.
Take
I'm
the
going to X
time,
that
man.
one out. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him? Am I here by myself? He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back momentarily. I love that he supports Ukraine and has the flag of Ukraine there. I think that's critical. I'm just going to keep talking. Okay, we'll keep talking till he comes back. But I think it's so critical that he supports, that people actually understand the difference between what Russia is doing there and what Ukraine is fighting against. I know we're talking about TYT, but I'm just filibustering until he gets back. But there's very few people in leftist spaces who are bold enough to actually just step out there and say, I support Ukraine, because of the propaganda that was thrown. So much propaganda was thrown up against the Ukrainian people at the beginning of that war. And it's just absolutely so critical that people can see and parse through the oh, there he's back. He's back. I was just celebrating.
Unbelievable. I think the Russians are after both of us today, my friend. I don't know what the heck was just going on. My computer just was doing backflips on that.
Yeah.
I tried to bring in one video. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem. I was
apologize.
just celebrating the fact that you support Ukraine, man. So solidarity there as well.
No, honestly, yes, and here we are, huge supporters of the Ukrainian people. We have been for a long time. We do everything that we possibly can to, advocate for keeping that in the foreground, and making sure that it doesn't fall by the wayside. With everything that's going on in the world, it's easy to kind of get lost in the sauce and forget about the individuals and the peoples there. So, we have a merch site, and getthemshirts.myshopify.com, and any of the Ukrainian merch on there. Any profit above what the shirt cost is donated directly to United 24, which is Volodymyr Zelensky's fund. There are also several different organizations, nonprofits and stuff on the website that get the donations for, every milestone that we hit so often. So I'm sorry about that. I was trying to bring up a Charlie KIrk video. And let me see if I can do it here without the world crashing in around me. I do apologize.
No problem.
It'll just take me a second to find it again. So whatever you were just continuing to say to the chat, feel free to finish that thought while I look for this.
And shout out, I patched in my channel, my YouTube channel, and they're asking if Boston Brian has a channel. Absolutely. And I'm going to share the link so that folks on my channel, I want to encourage everyone who's in my chat to go ahead and go over and subscribe and finish watching the whole episode with him. Because that's one of the critical things that I think we need to do in this moment, Brian, is that we need to absolutely support each other's shows, no matter how big, no matter how small, as long as somebody has the right message, as long as they are truly progressive and they're going to fight for the marginalized and the oppressed, we need to support them.
Yeah, and that's been also a big message on this show. For as long as I've been on is, having the larger platforms in this space dedicate time, energy, and resources to the smaller channels that, like you just said, have the correct message and, have somewhat of a following already built, and we can build off of that and build a coalition of people on the left to combat the Blazes and the Daily Wires, and because they have it down pat, and it's not a secret. A lot of people think, and say at least that the right wing seems to have a memo that they get every morning, right? And it just seems to go out, one big email throughout the whole sphere, and then they get the same talking points, and then throughout the whole thing, no matter if it's a politician on Fox, no matter if it's Charlie KIrk on YouTube, people on Rumble, they seem to be saying the same thing. So it tends to infect the minds of the people watching it, because if you're hearing it in so many different spaces, then and we all know that how the right wing has a hold on media. Right. And how the right wing is constantly getting more views than left wing podcasts or live streams or things of the such. So it's I mean, we need to find a way to, obviously what we were doing this time didn't work. Like I said, we had the most ammunition, I think, that any political party has ever had against the candidate to run against, to scream out to the people, to get them to open their eyes to what Donald Trump actually is. And somehow we failed in that.
Yeah.
We did not sway the people. We did not manage to, open their eyes again to what could be, and kind of, take over that short memory that people have in this country,
Well, what's so critical? Okay, so now we can tie this right back to TYT, because here's why we lost. We lost because the right had so much media in our faces all day, every day, from Fox News being on at every single gym, at every single bar, on every military base, to all of the random podcasters that just came out of nowhere, and YouTubers. They were everywhere. They had millions of dollars to promote themselves. And where were the leftist voices? We were drowned out in the algorithm. I mean, our biggest shows on the left
look at the attacks.
Exactly. Like our biggest shows on the left don't get nearly as much as some of their smaller shows on the right. And that's how they were able to sway the population towards the right.
Man, no, you're absolutely right. And it's like, look at the attacks on the people trying to put out the messages. You know what I mean? It's like, the billionaires know, and I think that's kind of what Cenk and Ana are playing towards. It's obviously not a grift as far as subscribers goes for them, because they're clearly hemorrhaging subscribers over there at TYT. But I think they're trying to attract the billionaire funders of these other shows and platforms where the real money is at, where they heard that the people at Tenant Media are willing to give out $100,000 per episode, to Dave Rubles and the rest of these characters that were involved in that.
Wait a minute. I had never heard that one, but I am going to use it. Everyone, when you hear me,
I can't take. I think I have to give credit to Hal Sparks on that one. I do believe. Forgive me if I'm giving credit on that one, but
I don't care. I'm gonna say I got that because I got it from you. I'm taking it from you, Dave Rubles, from now on. My goodness, I love it.
You know what I mean? But I mean, that's real money. I mean, people on the left, people like Sam Sita, who Cenk has called out as a grifter, could never fathom getting paid $100,000 per episode or $5 million in a year for not even doing anything, not even changing anything, because your message is so egregious already. These people are willing to pay you just to keep it going. You know what I mean? They just keep saying the things that you're saying, and I think that's why their play is really at. I think that's really where they're trying to go. What do you think?
No. I absolutely. And this is, again, like, it keeps coming full circle. This is why we need structural assistance with everyone who is left, everyone who has a true progressive message. Every show, we need to amplify them. We need to get Brian, we need your voice to be atop of the algorithm, just like I need my voice to be atop of the algorithm. And the way we could have done that was through a shared ecosystem with an entity as big as TYT. But instead of leading in that direction, they're going in the opposite direction. And instead of communal resources, they're hoarding over it like a little fiefdom, like their own little kingdom. And I get it, business is business, but we're well past business as usual. Like, we're in combat. This is war. And I heard some of the stuff that you said about them wanting to have public executions and have Coca-Cola sponsor it and have it like the Super Bowl. This is the kind of people that we're dealing with. And if we can't beat them in media first, we're going to end up having to fight them physically, kinetically in the future. So we got to do it now.
There's a good, all right, here we go. I'm going to see if I can play this again without crashing the entire system upon our heads.
No problem. If it crashes, I got you. I'll talk more about Ukraine.
I'm going to have to stop first, and then I'm just going to have to go back to this so I can share the screen. I'm going to present this. I'm going to share screen. Sorry, I have to literally talk my way through this. I'm not so much, I'm good at getting my ideas and opinions out, not so much on the tech side.
Listen, brother. It takes a minute to be able to produce and do the show at the same time.
How's that? Let me see if I can. Well, we always say this is what, this is what CNN and all these other media stations were taking a truckload of people to do, probably 5-10 years ago. You know what I mean? We're trying to do it ourselves now. All right. So let me see if I can get this to play for you guys after the amount of ads it has. But yeah, this is the person that Cenk was sitting down with. This is the person that, the people that are at the event following this person. These are the people that he thinks he's going to get through to. Let me see if I can. And I have to be careful with this just because of the things that he says. Can you hear that at least?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's good. Yep.
All right. Well, it's not playing.
To destroy the constitutional order. That should be under consideration. Okay.
And it was by firearm.
Yeah, that's how you should. By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals. Expensive. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised.
Well,
right now, does that sound like somebody like, okay, you know what? Let me go sit down and shake hands with that guy. The people that listen to that guy are probably some of the people that I could get through to. You know what I mean? I should really be spending my time to focus on those type of people. What say you?
Thank you for sharing that clip with me, because I've honestly never seen it. Well,
we're not done yet. This is just the beginning.
Listen, look, you know what? Keep playing, because if it gets worse, I need to have it all in context.
All right.
This can't be right, can it? The last execution in France was guillotine in 1977.
100% true. They used the guillotine
until 77.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
That's so cool. To the guillotine up until 1977.
Videotape of it.
Look at Charlie's face.
That's like what we should be doing, and I agree. It should be public
and televised.
Public square.
By the way, you could fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought.
You hear him? Force kids to watch it, right?
To you by.
Now this is where I kind of have to be careful on what I play. I'm gonna see if I can. I might have to skip a 10 seconds here and there.
Coca-Cola. Okay. And no, I'm not kidding. By the way.
Have it sponsored by Coca-Cola. So now we're just having like a Super Bowl, televised event of a public execution is what he's talking about.
I would totally tune in to see some pedo get their head chopped.
I mean, come on. Again, I'm done. We don't have to listen to any more of that, but I think that kind of proves the point that.
So
that I'm trying to make, where these aren't the type of people. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and we have to be careful with even the extreme cases. So I am one who has the example that he used, right? I'm one for going after all of the people who assault children, especially those in the Catholic Church, the Mormon Church, the Southern Baptist churches. Like, I want to start at home first. Let's go get them, right? Let's go get them. But when you allow a framework to be set based on an extreme case, that means they're going to start over there with the people who assault children, and they're going to incrementally work their way through every group that they don't like. And what I'm saying is if we sit back and allow them to do public executions and then they use this extreme case, we're only going to do it to people who hurt children. No, you're not. We know that who they're coming after next. They're going to come after trans people next. They're going to come after LGBTQIA, the whole community next. They're going to come after immigrants. They're going to try to do that right now. They're already talking about it. Did you see the video of that one MAGA congresswoman? She's Latina, and she did a mock public execution, and she promoted that, and people loved it. These people are dangerous. But she was talking about immigrants doing this to immigrants. She herself is an immigrant, and she's playing along with MAGA enough to say, I want to publicly execute.
Is this the Florida rep?
Say it again now.
Is that Anna Paulina Luna?
No, not Anna Paulina. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up and I'll send it to you. But it's absolutely absurd. And to your main point there, this is absolutely the people that we have to lock in and fight against. These are not people we go on stage so that we can get a good pat on the head from. No.
Right. And I don't know, it might have been cut off in when I played it, but being in the video, they were talking about just people that went against Donald Trump. Just people that made his life difficult, not even, the child sex offenders, you know what I mean? And it does go on, they go on even further to say that, they go on to discuss how young a child could be before they could watch, some say 12, 13, 16. I mean, it's disgusting. I did a TikTok on it, which is the video I had pulled up because it's censored. I censored all their stuff so I could play the whole stuff. But I mean, that's again, if Cenk were to go on stage and say, listen, these are the problems that I have with the right. This is what's going on. You're following a maniacal madman that cares nothing about you or your life. The tax breaks for the rich is all he cares about. You guarantee you have friends and family members that are immigrants that are going to be wrapped up and involved in whatever situations and in roundups and deportations that he wants to conduct. So it's like, if you're going to go out there and battle these people, go out there and spit fire and like Cenk does. I watched him for years, and I know he gets passionate, and I know he gets, I do the same thing. I kind of, like I said, I'm a product of TYT in some regard because, I'm very passionate. I feel a lot like I have the same aspects, you know what I mean? Because he was fiery, he was passionate, he's not afraid to go at him. And it seems like he's trying to, and I was watching, I'm a big World War II guy, and I was watching Crimson Tide. Not that it's a World War II movie, but there was a good quote in there where Gene Hackman says, "Confusion on a ship should not be feared. It should be taken advantage of." Right. So right now, I think we need to take advantage of the confusion on our ship, right? Which is where a new leader could step up or a new coalition can step up to take the place of these people that seem to be confused. Cenk seems to be building a reality that's not in touch with actual reality in order to be able to control it in some regard. So what do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. I want to emphasize the coalition part. I think, and one of the key aspects of the video yesterday was that we need to reject singular leadership. We must get decentralized leadership as much as we need decentralized media. Two quick things. I dropped the image in our private chat for StreamYard so that you can see. And I want to give a shout out to Angry Ginger, the Angry Ginger, who also has a great show. He reminded me of her name, Valentina Gomez. She didn't win, she ran, but this is the mindset. They want to they want public executions. It's like they're waiting for it, like they get their rocks off on it. It's an obsession with them, and these are not people that you can appease, Cenk. We can't appease them.
Now, was there anything that you saw with your time at TYT that would have led you to believe that this could have been the direction that they were going to go at some point in the future?
In hindsight 50-50, at the time that I was there, I really did enjoy it, and I thought everything was cool. What wasn't cool was the fact that Cenk was making money off of my content on YouTube, but only paying me for it from Facebook, which was a violation of our contract. And so that's why I exited. That's why I left. And I say it so directly because, he publicly said on his show that the reason I left was because I was jealous of Dr. Rashad Ritchie, which is such a low white supremacist type of thing to do, to try to pit two black men against each other. Me and Dr. Ritchie are down like 4 flat tires. We both spent, like, he's from Atlanta. I spent many years in Atlanta. Love that brother and so happy for his success. Matter of fact, I was one of his first guests on his show. So hindsight being 50-50, the fact that he was, one, a union buster, Cenk KIrk, and two, that he would manipulate people's incomes by only paying us for what we did on Facebook while making money off of YouTube, that really should have sent all of the alarms off to say that they're not really on our side.
Right. And we've even heard, the good fellas at the Vanguard break down how, when Hassan was there, who is Cenk's nephew, they kind of exploited his use in the company for the ends of the company, more or less. And if you're going to do that to family, really says, I think, a lot about your character. But again, there are so many great people at TYT, right?
Yes.
Let's not, again, I sometimes make the mistake of saying it like I'm wrapping up the whole network into this argument, and I'd like to make it clear that I am very much not. But when one thinks of TYT, one thinks Cenk. Cenk is TYT. To many, TYT is Cenk. You know what I mean? Or Cenk and Ana. So, you can talk about John Idarola, Jordan Yule, J.R. Jackson, Rashad Ritchie, like you were saying, Francesca Fiorentini.
Yes.
Just so many people over there that have now been put in a precarious position where, a lot of their fans are wanting them to step up to the plate and call out Cenk and Ana, but they feel like they're in the position where I might lose my livelihood. So they're in the kind of this like limbo. And I've seen John Idarola do it, where he's tried to kind of address it and side saddle it a little bit without doing it. And it's like, what effect do you think this is having on the people over there as an ex-host? You can kind of get in the mindset.
Yeah, no, listen, this is what made the time at TYT so good, because there's so many good people there. Like John, like Ayarola, love that brother. Francesca, shout out to her, because listen, she went head to head with Cenk in her debate with him and her discussion with them. She didn't pull any punches. And I really, I don't know if this is, I don't know what this falls underneath, but it really bothered me the way Cenk talked to her. I don't know if that's like a old chivalrous thing, and maybe I should reject that feeling. I don't know. Somebody can correct me on that.
No, you felt that right, because I felt the same thing. I felt the same thing. He very much was talking down to her. Yeah,
but there's so many good people, and I hope that I pray for their financial security, because listen, what's happening to TYT is they're losing money, they're losing subscribers, and it's going to hurt our friends in the long run. And I don't want that for them. But like someone just said in the chat room, I think that they should start looking at how they can secure their voices as well as their livelihoods outside of TYT.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quicker, the quicker they can build, to take their platforms, I think, and build it so it's a separate entity, so to speak. Because I'm assuming, not knowing the business side, that Cenk would have ownership over the titles of the shows, such as the Damage Report, Dr. Rashad Ritchie's show. I'm assuming they can't just take these and move. So they're gonna have to somehow build. Again, if this is what they're looking to do, who knows? You know what I mean? But like you said, even the lowering of subscribers on the platform in general is going to have effect on their bottom line. I think the Damage Report is their best performing show, as far as I think views and money. So I think they seem to be holding on. But at some point, if it gets down to where this thing really hits a slide, last time I checked, it was around 40,000 they had lost. I don't know where it's gone since then. I think that was about a week or two ago, so it could have gone up or down since then. But like you said, you're very right to point out it's going to have an effect on these people. So what do? Do they stay and kind of ride the ship out, or do they hop out? It's kind of a question that you can tell is weighing on them, especially Francesca. You can tell this whole thing had really been weighing on her heavy, and she had some shit to get off her chest.
Yeah. And, I think what's going to be critical is the community that we have and that we're building. Like we need the left media echo chamber. I say that echo chamber because that's exactly what the right has. And we need to be able to elevate people to the top of that network that we need to create, so that in situations like these, we should have a decentralized media apparatus that could give somebody a soft fall. Right? If you got to come down from TYT, I wish that we had that entity already. And the truth is, TYT was supposed to be that entity. They could be that entity. At the end of the day, all of this can be fixed if TYT's host, main businessman, Cenk KIrk, turns course and corrects his direction. Like, nobody has to lose their job. TYT doesn't have to shut down, but we can't just sit back and watch him take what the left built. And this is a key thing, Brian. I need people to really get this in their hearts. We built TYT. Every person who subscribed, every person who clicked, who shared, every person who ever donated, every person who was a member, every person who was in the chat room, we built TYT. And we can't sit back and just allow him to run around the country saying, oh, I run the biggest progressive media network in the company, and as that person, I think the left has lost their mind. No.
Right. Well, that's kind of the thing that I'm talking about, though, because the right does think that. Like, that's the image that they get. Like, this guy is speaking for the left when he gets on stage, right? That's what these conservatives and the people, that's what they're thinking. Like, oh, this is the main guy on the left. He must, he's really, whatever he says, everybody thinks, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's really the damage that it's doing to us, because we don't think that shit. We don't. Right. We're not sitting here, yelling and screaming for sex change operations for immigrants. We're not. If anything, we're on the defense on those things, trying to combat the right's propaganda as far as those things are concerned. So anytime we bring it up, it's in defense. It's not like, none of these things, it wasn't on Kamala Harris's platform. It wasn't part of Joe Biden's platform. It's something that she said, I think 4 years ago or 5 years ago, but it's not on her agenda. It's not on the platform. We don't speak, so it's like, we're talking about things and, how they were kind of proven wrong about the whole, Venezuelan gang situation and, and again, the story that Anna had a friend in her apartment complex that was a really nice guy, and then went to an HOA meeting, and somebody talked about Trump, and the guy got upset and left. And which, all of a sudden made her say, oh, you know what? All Trump supporters are good people. I'm just wrong all of a sudden, So it's just random things like that. Are just like, I don't understand. But I have a question here, and it's like, what does a coalition of progressive commentators actually look like, though? Is it just doing each other's shows like this and making sure that we appear, as a community, or is it starting our own, TYT like network? And that type of thing. What does a coalition actually look like to combat the right?
It looks like shared resources and some critical resources. And this is what I mean. One, we really could get economies of scale if we share production resources, stories, information, video cuts, all those kind of things. That really helps us create speed. But it also it looks like the ability for us to have a unified broadcast, I think, is one thing that I think we really need to have, the ability to share each other's video live streams, like your live stream right now. It should be broadcast across everyone who is a part of this network. It should be broadcast there and push everyone across the network to your channel, so that everyone across all 7 million, if we add us all together, we add them together and we get 3-4 million, whatever, we need to broadcast unified across all of them, and then encourage each group to come and subscribe. That way we can honestly understand that media, especially YouTube, it's not a zero-sum game. I'm not being hurt by being here on your channel. I wouldn't be hurt by you being on my channel. We would be able to unify and solidify. There are a whole lot of things that we can do. Those are just the first two that came to mind. There's a whole lot more that I have, and I'm going to be dropping an article soon that really outlines how the core of it is the people in the YouTube chats, the people in your chat room, in my chat room. There is already a movement, a body of people that goes show to show to show. And if we can unify them with resources outside of YouTube so that they can organize outside of YouTube, they help create the foundation for that shared media network.
And it's crazy because you can see underneath me, it says, I'm a Midas Touch contributor. They play my videos on their channel. And I think it would be wonderful if they were kind of, do what you just did. Every time I go live, just throw it up on their channel for people to check out. If they, if they happen to agree with what I'm talking about and like how I'm saying it, then great. If not, then, there's other people on that channel that are to your liking, which is what I like about bigger platforms like that. They have something for everybody, really. And then I think they should have more, female voices on there is what we need to. I'd like to have more female voices in this space, and, talk to some trans people face to face and have them get their message out and tell the world how they're feeling. So I'm not kind of speaking for people type of thing. And I'd also love to have debates with, people that disagree. I think that's a big part of doing what we do here. So, I'm going to play here before we get too long into it, because I could talk to everybody on these shows for days on days, and I always get lost in the sauce here. So let me see if I can play this video that I've been trying to play. This is just the beginning of your YouTube video that you put out yesterday. Let me see if I can share this screen, present, which I thought was fantastic.
Thank you, brother.
That was it's a really complete, from start to finish, A to Z takedown. It's a 45-minute, just in-depth reasoning why kind of we're all doing what we're doing as far as calling out Cenk and Ana for what, could be very harmful to our movement. So let me see if I can play this again. I'm going to get rid of our name so they're not messing up in the way. I'm going to add to the stage. And, all right, sorry. It's going to be this one. It never, ever stays at the right thing that I put it at, but I can just do this. No biggie. Here we go.
TYT is dead. Long live TYT. That the model of a charismatic Cenk KIrk, who is the president and CEO over his own little corporation that people trust is going to be progressive. That model has to die. Why? Because that model has failed us time and again. That model is what the North Star was supposed to be. Where is it today, Sean King? That model is what we built with Bernie Sanders. That model is what we built with Barack Obama. And I see how much we, the people, entrusted in those movements, into those organizations, into those charismatic leaders. And as soon as those elections were over, where did all the infrastructure go? Where did all the email lists go? Where did the ability to mobilize the masses into a movement go? That.
First of all, I got to say that background beat goes hard. Like, that is tough. I cannot get that out of my head right now.
A progressive leadership is dead. TYT is dead. Long live TYT.
Now, it clearly shows that, you know, you have some passion for this, for TYT as an entity to continue as a progressive, you know, beacon, so to speak. If we could, you know, get our messaging straight and or have, you know, what I think Anna's kind of got one foot out the door. I don't know. That's just kind of a sense that I have of how, you know, frustrated she's been with everybody. And, you know, there was one episode where she's screaming and yelling at one contributor for a comment that she had or he had. And it was just, you know, it was one of those things where it's like, you know, you could tell she was just looking for something to blow up on, you know, really that comment had nothing to do with what's going on. But, you know, just in short, just that intro is really good. So I'd like to give you very credit where credit is due for this. This is a great intro. The background music goes tough, like I said, and your message in here is just, you know, like it gets everything you want across really quick. So congratulations on this video, really good. Everybody should definitely check this out after the show.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You know, and you hit the key thing. I don't want a single person at TYT to lose their job. I don't want the company to shut down. It would be such a waste of investment that we've made over the last 20 years. I just want the leaders, the captain and the co-captain, to either correct their course or get out of the way, step down, let TYT thrive. TYT can be so much more. It's the infrastructure is there already. We don't have to rebuild it. But as long as TYT remains this personal little kingdom for Cenk Uygur, then it will never become what people invested in it to become, which is a central hub for progressive voices.
All right. And just another clip from this video here.
Conservatism, which is just like Cenk Uygur stated months before, fascism.
So they laid out a plan for a full-blown coup against this country. And then they executed that plan. And they even considered, they had a 3-hour meeting where Michael Flynn proposed martial law and rolling out tanks against the American people and killing anyone who opposed us. And the only reason why they didn't do that part of it, because to be fair to the rest of the people in the Trump administration at the time, they said to Trump, every one of us will resign if you roll out those tanks. He wanted to do it. He wanted to do it. He's a dictator. He's a fascist. That's not hyperbole.
There's no question about it. This was not the United States organically moving closer to Donald Trump. This was the fact that every time you cut on the television, there's Fox News, Newsmax, OANN. Every time you go onto YouTube, whether you're watching a progressive or not, the algorithm recommends someone from conservative spaces. And
bang. Bang, nail on the head right there. If you were a fucking carpenter, pardon my French, I'm so sorry.
You're in good company. I just can't do it.
You'd be a good carpenter, my friend, because that was hitting the nail directly on the head. Even, I mean, people have told me when they're watching my videos, you know, in between whatever, and I don't do ads again. I take the way I set up my channel is very much how TYT did. I'm not taking any, at the beginning at least, I'm not taking any sponsorships, no ads. YouTube has to run their ads. I have no control over that, whatever they put on the show. But I've been told from many people and seen on many channels, like, hey, they're putting Charlie KIrk ads in between your videos, or they're putting Glenn Beck ads in between your videos or something like that. So again, we can get our message out, but it's instantly combated or instantly shot down by something else, you know, put in front of them by the algorithm, which is weird to me because, you know, I don't get recommended this. I mean, it's tough because I watch this stuff for news and stuff because I always get recommended. But, you know, like you said, you hit the nail on the head basically, and we have to do something to combat the fact that they have this huge like lockdown basically on the media ecosphere and in the messaging that we put out. You know,
yeah, it is exactly how Donald Trump won. Their power over media, which at the same time, they've mastered the art of being both the oppressor and being feigning like they are oppressed. And this is what I mean very specifically. They constantly complain about their voices being limited and they don't have free speech and that the media is so left-leaning. Meanwhile, the biggest left-leaning platform on YouTube maybe gets 6,000 people on an average live stream. The average conservative will get 20 or 30,000. Don't go over to like Charlie KIrk's platform. He'll get 100,000 on some nights. The algorithm leans towards the right, and it has been that way for a long time. And we have to organize around it.
Right. And speaking about that, I'd like to say hello to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and the people on any platform watching this. I do appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. We're trying to build this up. I think we've done a fantastic job, guys. I really have. Speaking to my chat, we've managed to get some of the greatest names in this sphere, in this space, to come and you know, have a chat with us and talk about our progressive policies and ideals and beliefs. So I think that's what we need. That's what we need. We're trying to build a name here so that, you know, the word that we put out actually has some resonance, actually has some value to it, and people pay attention to it. And if I can, I just want to play just another about 30 seconds from your video, if you don't mind, because I think it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what I did. Add stage. Click on here.
And even if the algorithm wasn't organically recommending someone from the right wing of the United States of America, conservatives had millions of dollars that they could spend on advertising, putting them and placing themselves right in your face so that no matter where you went in this country, you were inundated with the right wing message. And it went further. Elon Musk purchasing Twitter for $44 billion, turning it into a right-wing echo chamber over the last 2 years leading up to the election. And instantly we saw all of the techniques, all of the mechanisms, all of the ways that the progressive movement made progress over the last 10 years become co-opted and weaponized against progress. And that's how you get the rightward shift of the United States of America. Cenk Uygur.
That was, I mean, perfectly said, perfectly said. And now we're even seeing the right is even seeing what it means when you allow someone to invest over $200 million into your candidate, being the world's richest man, and I think the United States most prominent oligarch in the history of our country, and now who basically has more power than Donald Trump. I mean, we call him, President-elect Elon Musk and
That's
First Lady Donald Trump. You know what I mean? It's like he's second in power now, and I think the right is kind of looking around like, oh crap, like. Whoever doesn't like Elon that much is like, oh man, did we really screw up here? Because, he seems to be having his way with, Congress. He's putting his foot down in Congress, and he's trying to, with the H-1B visas and just a lot of ways they're seeing that it doesn't really pay off to have the world's richest man throw in $200 million into your candidate.
Yeah, they're finding out the hard way. I love that for them. It is a problem, and it could be something that would be the one thing I could work with, like Laura Loomer, for instance, who has a file on me, by the way. She hates me so much. She literally has people gathering intel on me. But if she actually came to her senses, because she's now been censored, literally censored by Elon Musk, and she's now saying what we've been saying for years: you can't have somebody with this much money have control over one of our candidates, one of our politicians, because they do whatever they want to do. Now, everything else that Laura Loomer stands for is so disgusting, which is why she has a file on me. But I love that they are getting a firsthand taste. The very first victim of this oligarch that is President Elon Musk is MAGA. Is a lot of MAGA. It's great.
It's just chef's kiss. It really is. I mean, it's like I said, is it ever too early to say I told you so?
Never.
I really don't think so. We're coming up on the end of the hour. I really would like to thank you so much for your time. Could you, just in closing, where does TYT go from here, do you think? Where is TYT in 2 years? Where is Cenk and Ana in 2 years? Where do you think they are?
It's going to be a problem, right? Because Cenk has shown that he's digging in and he's going full force. So I think TYT is going to be in a different place than Cenk and Ana in 2 years. I think Cenk and Ana are going to be solidly on the right, and they're going to be kowtowing for the right. but that leaves TYT extremely vulnerable. And that leaves the people there that are excellent, that leaves them vulnerable. Where they will be in the next 2 years depends on what Cenk and Ana does, because that's Cenk's, he owns it. That's his corporation. He owns the most share, the majority share of stocks in that company. That's his baby. And so if he insists on doing this and going that way, I think TYT loses in the long run. And that's a loss. That's genuinely a loss for all of us.
Man, I'm not even so sure he is the highest stakeholder anymore. It might be that almost billionaire that invested now, because he's live from Polymarket Studio. You know what I mean? This studio that he took funding from the TYT crowd to build and get done now is somehow turned over to Jeffrey Katzenberg, as you said, a close to a billionaire, if not a damn near billionaire, investing in TYT. And as you were talking about earlier, the anti-labor lawyers that they were hiring, anti-union lawyers that they were hiring, excuse me, and the little signs that we've been seeing here that the slide is more than a slide. It's something that maybe has been there over time and is just showing its face now. I think maybe Ana might be the catalyst, somewhat, so to speak, on this one. Because, I mean, not that long ago, as you play in your video, Cenk's calling Trump a fascist, and he's talking about how he wanted to roll out the tanks. And that doesn't seem like somebody that now would go sit down with Charlie KIrk and talk about, the left, the establishment on the left being the problem. Is it the guy that you were just talking about being a fascist, trying to roll out the tanks on the American citizens? Or is it the establishment left, who, again, I don't agree with? I don't care for Nancy Pelosi and her, backdoor dealings with her stocks, given the right ammunition to come at us. Again, a lot of these people have had consequential careers. But as far as being for what I stand for, the old oligarchy of the right, of the left, is not really what I think represents me so much today. I think we need young, fresh faces, which is what Joe Biden said he was going to do in his presidency. He was going to be the transitional president for change and bring in the younger crowd, and it didn't happen. So I mean.
Can I,
yeah, go ahead. Hit me.
Before I go, can I just do two things? I want to just recognize one super chat that I got. And I also want to, before I even read that, I have 289 people watching on my YouTube channel, and I'm getting ready to disconnect the stream. When I disconnect the stream, I need those 289 of you to go over to Boston Brian's channel. I put the link in the description already. I'm going to share it again here. Let me do it right now. Here's a link to go straight to his video. I love what Twitch does. It allows us to do raids. This is my version of a raid. So I need these 289 people to click on the link now. 297 now. I need you all to go over to Brian's channel, subscribe to his channel. And I want to give a shout out to Marcus Farrell, who is my co-host. We host Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. 3 black brothers who know politics at the height of politics. We don't mind roasting and having fun Tuesday nights.
We didn't even... Go ahead. Sorry. At Tuesday night at 8 p.m. you said, right?
Yes, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So
I was going to say, we went through so much. I didn't even get to talk about the fact that, we even played on this channel that Mayor Mondale Robinson, had, laid it down perfectly on your show and kind of basically came to his senses right there live on stream.
Yes.
Didn't even get to speak to his wife about it. You know what I mean?
He was walking dangerously.
He put the cart before the horse on that one a little bit, which is, always dangerous. But again, we played that clip on my channel, and we gave him all the credit in the world and wish him well. And, he was even saying, listen, I'm not doing this for me. If anything, follow Ben, don't if anything,
listen, the support I got after he said that was astronomical, and I'm so grateful for him doing that. And that's the love. That's why I need there's 274 left. I want that number to go down to 10. I want you all to go over to Brian's channel now and watch the rest of your broadcast. How much longer are you going this afternoon?
I usually do 2 hours. But I always go over. I've never once somehow managed to get it in on time. It's always there's so much to cover, and I'm doing 2 shows a week now, as opposed to every Sunday. But it's like there's so much happening in a week that if you do a once a week show, it's damn near impossible to cover it all in a 2-hour show. There's just I mean, even this week, with the Cybertruck thing at Trump's. At the Trump Hotel in Vegas, or you got the New Orleans situation, the tragic situation down in New Orleans. You could talk about Ukraine, basically cutting off Russian gas, oil and gas. Finally, you could talk about, Israel killing over 50 people in Gaza, in women and children and stuff like that. There's so much to discuss that it's hard to do it. So I've added a Wednesday night show. We're now doing Wednesdays 8 to 10, right after Hal Sparks. So anybody that's in there, come pop over afterwards. Again, Ben, can you just let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your stuff?
Twitter at Benjamin P. Dixon. It is Twitter until we say otherwise. We were there before Elon Musk. We'll be there after Elon Musk. Can I leave with a call to action? Here's something that I'm asking every host to do, every moderator to do, and every viewer in the chat room to do. Brian, I haven't had a chance to talk with you about it, so please forgive me for just dropping this on you. But I'm asking hosts to mobilize their audiences with calls to action. Whatever you talk about, brother, if you could say now, go and do something about it. Go to social media and speak about it. I'm asking moderators of every chat for you all to unify, for you to organize outside of YouTube. And then what you do is take Brian's call to action and encourage the audience to go and do. And audience members, what we need you to do, we need you to become evangelists for progressivism. Tell everybody about what you believe and why you believe it. Tell everybody why you watch Boston Brian's show and why they should watch it with you. And then when you come back this Wednesday night, I heard, as well as next Sunday, bring somebody with you, just like we do at church. Don't come by yourself. Recruit somebody, because we need each other in this fight more than ever before. And I still have 231. I'm about to end the stream on my side. I need all 231 of you to go enjoy the next hour of Boston Brian.
I really do appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you, man.
I'm very blessed and appreciative of your time. I think it's fantastic to finally get to speak to you one-on-one. And again, it's really an honor, considering, like I said, when I first came into politics, you were one of the faces on my screen. Along with Jesse and Brittany Page, and now
I love Jesse and Brittany.
Vanguard.
Yes,
the guys at the Vanguard I've connected with. I just spoke to Gavin. We're going to try to get them on the show next week if we can. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's start building a like you said, we say a coalition, but I want to, I grew up in sports, so I want a strong team. I want, and we need people of all shapes and sizes, like a football team, like a hockey team. You don't just need all 7-foot goons. You need the short, fast guy. You need the running back. You need the wide receiver who's skinny, who can, get up upfield. You need the linebacker who's not as fast, but will kick your ass. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You need all these different people, and I relate that to different people in the progressive space. And we may not agree with everything, and we should not agree on everything. Should be, different. We all grew up in different places and had different experiences with different parents, and it all shaped our lives in different ways and how we think. So, we can disagree on things and we can agree on things. And I think as long as we stick together and keep promoting each other's shows like we're doing, in the larger channels, start reaching out and saying, hey, look at the movement these guys are building here. I think we'll be in a good space. So again, thank you so much. I'm going to, after the show, I will put all the links for your shows and stuff into the description. So my chat can also do the same and follow you. And I advise everybody to check out the video Ben put out on the TYT subject. Again, this isn't drama. This isn't, hey, this isn't TMZ bullshit. This is real, that real situations that affect real people's lives and stuff. So
it's what we do next. That video and this conversation that we're having, it's literally about what we who are progressive content creators and progressive content consumers. What do we do next? That's what Brian is talking about. That's what the video talks about. Listen, I'm going to say bye about 3 more times if you don't let me go here. I'll keep talking to you, Brian.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I just yap and yap and yap. So I appreciate
love
it.
And I appreciate
salute to everything you're doing. Please continue the fight. Do not, do not let in any way, shape, or form your voice be stepped on or silenced. Please keep getting your message out. It is a really good one. So thank you so much. You have a blessed day.
I want those 199 people who are left to go over there. I'll see you next time.
Hit me. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you so much again. Let me see if I can do this one. I think there we go. Thank you so much, Ben. I do appreciate it. We are so lucky, really, on this channel. And fortunate over the last few weeks to have been not only contacted by, but, graced with their presence on our show. Some fantastic people in our space. And, some people have criticized to say, yes, these are people that agree with what we're saying. But again, I think I need that in order to build the community in a space in which other people can take seriously. That way, we can get into the combative nature. We can get into the debates with some of these more high-profile right-wing people. So thank you so much again, Ben, for your time. Please, everybody, check out the video that he put out, and also make sure you support him. And if you're still watching, make sure you're subscribing to my channel. That would be absolutely fantastic, please. And there's a little join button below me. For $1.99 a month, you become a channel member. It is one of the best ways to help this channel out. Literally $1.99 a month. You could not go out and get a candy bar right now for $1.99 a month. You couldn't. You can't do it. Can't do it anymore. Can't do it, but you can get a membership to this channel for a single month and help what we're building here. So I really do appreciate it. There's also patreon.com/Boston Brian, where you can get one of 3 tiers on there, whatever tier fits your pocketbook or your wallet that you want to help with. And again, I'm talking to people that could forget this money. I don't want your last $5. I don't want your last dollar. If you're in a position of financial strain, don't do it. There's free stuff to like, share, and subscribing, commenting. That stuff is all free and all helps this channel just as much. So again, no matter what position you're in, you can help this channel in some way, shape, or form. But let me go into the chat. How'd we do, guys? How'd we do? Roxanne, how'd we do? Terpy, did we do all right? I hope I make everybody proud. I really do. I hope I hope I represent this channel well for you guys. So let me just see. Hi, Lacey. How are you doing? Let's see here. Lacey, you doing showing that nonsense from Frumpy yesterday? I don't know. I haven't seen, oh, for crying out loud. I haven't seen much of Humpty Dumpty recently. You did great. Oh, thank you, Fancy. You did great, Brian. I shared you out in Blue Sky. Thank you so much, guys. Again, wherever you can share it out, that would be fantastic. Love the accent. Who said that? Who said I lost it? Oh, no, it's right. Come on. Somebody said it. You did great. It was right here, wasn't it? Sorry, I missed it. But somebody said great. Thanks, Petrazi. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. That's what I really want to do. I just want to make sure that I'm representing, you guys in a way that makes you proud and that will keep people coming back to the show, obviously. But lots more to get to. Thank you so much for joining. We got the news to go over. We got the right-wing propaganda on the attacks that we've seen over the last week. How is the southern border responsible for homegrown terrorism from, I don't know, let's just say a guy from Houston, Texas? Please do explain on that one. But we'll get all the answers from the brightest people on the right, I assure you. But let's get into, see, the thing is, now I got to set, why did that go off? All right. That's just got to stop. Now I got to set this up. Give me a second. Because I think from now on, I'm going to maybe do the interviews in the second half of the show. That way I can set up the news and everything for the first half of the show, get that out of the way, and then I can roll right into the interview because it's tough to have everything. My computer would just crash if I have everything set up all at once. It's just not a possibility. All right, so let me see if I can get into pulling some of these articles up that we'll be talking about. And I do apologize. Take me just a second here. All right, first one, obviously. Let me see. Is this button I pressed? There we go. Jimmy Carter, God rest his soul, made it to 100. This is not a time to be sad. I mean, the guy lives for crying out loud. The exposure to the radiation alone, you would think somebody wouldn't live to 100, right? I mean, we all know the stories of Jimmy Carter and his heroism in a time of need. But yes, let me see here. I just want to show you. This is why it's tough. Census day before, right wing. There we go. Oh, there he is. Just a little bit about the 6th day. You heard it right, folks. 6th day. 6th day state funeral begins with a motorcade throughout Georgia. Is it 6 days or 6 states? Let me see if I can. This article says Jimmy Carter's 6-day state funeral begins with a motorcade through South Georgia. Jimmy Carter's extended public farewell began Saturday in Georgia with the 39th U.S. president's flag draped casket, tracing his long arc from the Depression-era South from an and family farming business to a pinnacle of American political power in decades as a global humanitarian. Those chapters shown throughout the opening stanza of a 6-day state funeral intended to blend personalized memorials with a ceremonial pomp afforded to former presidents. The longest-lived U.S. executive, Carter, died on December 29th at the age of 100. He was an amazing man. He was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman, end quote, said James Earl. Chip Carter III, wow, there you go. James Earl Chip Carter III told mourners at the Carter Center late Saturday afternoon, referring also to his mother, former First Lady Rosalind Carter, who died in 2023. Quote, the two of them together changed the world, and it was amazing. It was an amazing thing to watch so close, end quote. Again, just wanted to pay my respects to the man. But yeah. Just what an amazing. So I don't know if this actually covers it, but it was really nice to see that the pallbearers on Saturday came from the Secret Service that protected Carter for almost half a century, and a military honor guard that included Navy service membership for only U.S. Navy Naval Academy graduates to reach the Oval Office. A military band played "Hail to the Chief" and the hymn "Be Thou My Vision" for the Commander-in-Chief, who was also was a devout Baptist. So, yes, thank you to Jimmy. And then we get into, again, I do apologize. I do apologize, but we got to get into it. The situation, the attack in New Orleans. Oh, the new information coming out about this is actually pretty startling. Let me see. I think this is the latest that Mel sent me. And I will read you just a little bit from this article so I can catch you up on what's been going on here. The New Orleans attack, terror suspect used bomb materials never seen in the U.S. as police probe how he got them. The terror suspect in the New Orleans rampage that killed 14 people and injured dozens reportedly used materials to make explosives that have never been used in the U.S. attack. And I also believe this was the largest weapons cache. Let me see if I think I pulled something up on that. Just give me a second. Oh, come on. No, I don't want your videos. I don't want your videos. There we go. All right. Just a second. My computer's screaming at me. Yeah, I sent it to myself here. Let's see. Yeah, right here. What happened? Weapons cache. Dun-dun-dun. So it was officially, I think it was officially. FBI says it seized the largest cache of homemade explosives in its history at Virginia home. Here, let me see if I can. I'll put this up. I think you deserve to see this one. Let me see if I can do this one. Come on. I'm fighting it. I'm not going to let it win. It's only when the ad plays on some of these things that I bring up. It's really, really, the computer does not like that. Does not like that at all. Give me a second. Any day now would be perfect. Any day now would be perfect. I really don't have that much open, which is strange. Can I please present something? There we go. All right, here we go. Now it decided it wants to let me. Come on, why you oughta. Wow, this thing's going then slower than my grandmother on a Sunday morning. Here we go. All right, it's because this stupid thing's playing on this, as you'll see. All right, the FBI says it seized largest cache of weapons in its history. In Washington, the FBI found the largest cache of finished explosive devices in the Bureau's history during the arrest of a Virginia man earlier this month, according to court documents. Federal prosecutors are seeking to keep the man, Brad Spafford, in custody after his December arrest for allegedly possessing unregistered short-barrel rifle. Executing a search warrant at Spafford's 20-acre farm in the country of Isle of the Wight. Investigators found a, quote, stockpile of more than 150 improvised explosive devices that were assessed to be pipe bombs. So, again, just figured I'd throw that in there as a related story to what has been going on. We'll go back to this. The terror suspect in New Orleans rampage killed 14 people and injured dozens, reportedly used materials to make explosive devices that have never been used in the attack. Shamsuddin Jabbar, a 42-year-old U.S. citizen from Texas, used an extremely rare explosive compound that had never been seen before in any incidents in the U.S. or Europe, NBC reported. That's kind of crazy to me. Jabbar planned to detonate 2 explosives that he had placed on Bourbon Street, FBI and ATF officials said in a joint statement on Friday. He intended to use a transmitter, which was found in his vehicle, to ignite the bombs, but ultimately did not. It's not immediately clear how or where he learned to make such an explosive device. It is yet question for the FBI, which is also reportedly looking at Jabbar's travel, including a trip to Egypt. The federal agency was also trying to determine whether he became radicalized during his trip. Authorities recovered an ISIS flag from inside the vehicle, as we know. Quote, the next most important phase of the investigation is to find out how the radicalization happened and if it happened on that trip, and quote, Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams told the network. Yeah, so just to catch you up on the latest on that story. And again, I put that FBI seizing the largest cache of what it's a homemade explosives in its history, right next to all of these things happening here. And again, homegrown U.S. citizens, people. These are not illegal immigrant attacks. These are not attacks by people that have just come across the border. They're not people from Venezuelan gangs, right? Which is what we're hearing. And again, we're going to play a video. We're going to watch a little bit of some psychopath that you may recognize. He may be a little jittery, to give you a little cute clue on who it might be. But yeah, we're going to listen to these people try to tell you that somehow this is related to the southern border in order to justify whatever executive orders or whatever legislation that they want to enact when they get into office pertaining to immigrants and in deportations. So let me see if I can, what's next on this one? Then we'll talk about this one, obviously. Let me stop sharing this one. I'll go back to here. Well, this one. Which one is it? Nope, that ain't it. There you go. There we go. All right. The Tesla explosion. This crazy story. Another one. Another crazy story on this one. Let me see if I can put that one away so we don't have too many things open at the same time. Let me do that one. Give me a second here. We're going to go to the Cybertruck here. All right. So, and again, this is all, these didn't take place, but tomorrow is January 6th, people, right? We do know that tomorrow is the 3-year anniversary of January 6th. The day in which literally we watched with our own eyes on national television from multiple angles. MAGA supporters, Donald Trump supporters try to overthrow and stop the counting of the votes in a free and fair election. We saw them beat police officers. We saw them break windows. We saw them steal things. We saw them chanting, where's Nancy? Where's Mike Pence? Hang Mike Pence. They built a fucking gallows. Right? Like the fact that this is still not talked about, the fact that this is still not one of the biggest stories as far as January 6th is concerned is mind-boggling to me. The fact that this is on tape. There's more hours of footage of this attack than fucking anything else on earth, I think. But somehow we forget. Somehow we elect. Somehow this country managed to fucking elect again the man responsible that sat in his fucking, on his fat fucking ass in his little room there with aides around him like, hey, what the fuck are you going to do, dude? Hey, what's going on? Are you going to say anything? Nope. You want another cheeseburger and a Diet Coke, you fat fucking piece of shit? Anyways, that's my rant on that one. But again, anyways, this is an article from Mediaite on what the gentleman was actually, the insight into what was going on in this gentleman's mind. So basically, police say the man who detonated Tesla Cybertruck on Wednesday morning, front of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas, called on Americans to use violence if necessary to get Democrats out of power. Now, when we talk about, like politically motivated violence, what group stands out in that? What group do you think stands out above all the rest? Right? Above left-wing violence, above fucking whatever you want to call it, jihadi violence. You know what I mean? What group do you think is actually in the lead? No, you're right. It's right. You're right. You're absolutely right when you say it's fucking right-wing political violence, right? Check this out. So we'll go back to this Mediaite article in just a second, but just to show you here, come on. Just make it really, really visible to me. That's what I really got to start doing. Reading list, congratulations. Weapons cache, Cybertruck, telecoms, videos of prices on Cybertruck bombing. God damn it. Cybertruck. I set myself so many things to show on this show. I got nothing. It's literally hidden in all the rest of the shit. All right, we'll go back to the media. My apologies. So 7 people were hurt in the blast. The investigator said 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger planned for days and carried out just as he took his own life with a firearm. According to KLAS, the Las Vegas CBS affiliate, Livelsberger left behind 2 notes police were able to recover from phones and a laptop in the burned out vehicle. In the notes, which investigators made available, the Green Beret called on fellow service members and anyone who believed the country was on the wrong track to engage in a purge of the country's capital. The decorated combat veterans specifically called on Democrats to be culled from Washington. None of this really makes any sense to me. Again, obviously, I'm never going to understand anybody that, takes their own life and commits an attack like this and, makes a show and a spectacle of it, really, especially when the things he's advocating for are literally what's about to come up. Like, you won, dude, right? Like, Trump is about to be inaugurated the 20th. Like, why are you mad at us? What the fuck are you mad at us for? Why are you so mad? I don't, what I mean? It doesn't make doesn't really make sense to me. Like, the things he's advocated for seem to be the Republican Party platform, in which is about to, be enacted. I don't ever think I'm going to get into the mind, but I just wanted to read this part. I'm going to show this. That way you can read along with me. So it's not just a burned out fucking car you're looking at, that husk of a vehicle. Let me get rid of this one. I'm going to share this one instead. I'm going to make it big so you can see it. All right. This was his, I think they call it an electronic manifesto. I think he was keeping like an electronic journal for a few weeks or a few days leading up into the attack. But this is what he wrote. Fellow service members, veterans, and all Americans, time to wake up. We're being led by weak and feckless leadership who only serve to enrich themselves. Military and vets move on D.C. starting now. Militias facilitate and augment this activity. Occupy every major road along federal buildings and the campus of federal buildings by the hundreds of thousands. Lock the highways around down with semis right after everybody gets in. Hold until the purge is complete. Try peaceful means first, but be prepared to fight in the Dems. Be prepared to fight to get the Dems out of the federal government and military by any means necessary. They all must go, and hard reset must occur for our country to avoid collapse. Now, again, to me, that just does not make any sense, because why, again, am I wrong to think it's like why are you mad? That's what's happening. That's, No, I think it is important. Whoever said we should not be spreading this west. I think it is important. I think it very much is important to let people know that who is perpetrating these activities, right? And what their messaging is. How long have we been talking about right-wing extremism and these people just being led to the most extreme and radical beliefs that cause them to do shit like this? How many school shooters have been conservatives? How many, like I said, here, check this out. I'm going to find this whether it fucking takes all day or not. I'm going to find it. Come on, here we go. I know I put a note next to it. No, not that one. News Vegas, PTS, no. Let's talk terror attack. Don Jr. I know I did. Oh, here we go. Boom diggity. Here we go. Check this out. Why is it not on the stage? At the stage. All right, can you see that? Can everybody see this? Everybody sees what's going on here? A perfect storm. Extremism online and political polarization are increasing risks of attack, experts say. But if you scroll down, right? If we scroll down a little bit, let me get rid of this little video here. If we scroll down a little bit, we see, no, why is it going crazy? Ideology and, dude, just what is happening? Right here. All right. Can you see that? Everybody can, that's clear on everybody? Do I have to zoom in? Let's see if I can zoom in a little just so you can make it a little clearer for you. How's that? Nope, that's too much. That's too much. There we go. All right. So as it says, right-wing ideologies have fueled more than 70% of all extremist attacks and domestic terror plots since 2002 in the United States, according to the Anti-Defamation League. Right? And we can see this graph. We can see the right in front of us, right-wing, white supremacist. 364 attacks. Right-wing anti-government. 137. So those can be pretty much added together. Right wing, right? Islamist, 125. And you can make a really good case on saying that's a conservative right wing ideology that very much aligns in a lot of ways with what Republicans are trying to do today, right? As far as, banishing women into the kitchen and, making sure the women have no rights over their own body and they're only doing what they're told and that sort of thing, right? Right wing, other, 61. So the first four categories on this is right wing, right? As far as terror attacks. Then it goes other. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Then it goes left wing, 47. So you can basically add up the first four on this and then add that up against the 47 left wing attacks, which I can absolutely do not condone any of the 47. And I think anybody that did such a thing should be held responsible in the court of law. All right. That's what we advocate for on the left. If somebody commits an act like that, they should be prosecuted as such. Okay. But again, don't come at us, and we're going to hear in just a second. And I know I'm going to go over. I just can't fucking stop. All right. So let me do this. All right. And I want you to listen to just a little bit of how the right tries to twist this, right? Oh, thank you, Don. Appreciate you. And anybody that does super chat or super thanks or whatever the frig they're called, or anything on Facebook or Twitch, if you hit the button, I don't know what they're called. Are they bits? What are they? Bits? Are they likes on Facebook? I don't know. I'm new to the whole anything else but YouTube game. Just let me know. But you can do all that, and you can share emojis in the chat. There's so many free things you can do to make sure that the algorithm knows that you're having a good time, you're interacting. And again, anybody that hits a milestone or in their memberships or super chats or super thanks or anything will get recognized at the end of the show. I will read them all at the end of the show. You will get your highlights. I swear, I promise you. So if you see me miss it in the chat the first time, don't worry about it. Stick around. I will get to it at the end of the show. But right now, let's hop into some of that right-wing propaganda, baby. Let's get it in our veins. Let's inject that right-wing propaganda right into it, right? Hold on. Let's do this. Let's make sure. Oh, shit. It's already playing, you son of a bitch. Anything I try to set these up, right, without watching them and be like, all right, that's kind of the spot I think we're going to start at. So I save it and lets it sit there. And then I go back to it. And it's like, no, I don't want you to watch it at that spot. It's just, that's not what I feel like doing right now. You're really not going to enjoy it from that spot. What I think you're going to enjoy is it from this spot. So anyway, all right, let's get into it right here. And you're going to recognize this douche right off the bat, and I think you're going to really enjoy this. All right, let me get him in there. Then I'm going to do, all right, get in, add the stage. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, we'll do that. I want to be next to him. I'm not going to be below him. We'll make him big, and here we go.
Watch this before drinking plant-based milks.
Good grief. Here we go.
Almost exactly.
One more.
From the Maui fires to the recent
fucking
hurricanes,
What are you gonna do? I ain't paying for it. I ain't fucking paying for it. I ain't doing it.
Or get through with the interview, but make sure you guys are liking, sharing.
Oh no, it's good. What happened?
Miss one of these major episodes. And
let's see it. Can you hear that? Can anybody hear that? Anybody? Did you get audio on that? Or is it just me not getting audio? Let me know in the chat for a sec. Yes, you heard that, but I didn't. How is that possible? I guess how do I react to something that I can't hear?
Remember, you can get the show.
That is so weird. Oh, I hit the button. My bad. All right. First day on the job. Already having hot flashes. My bad. Here we go. My bad. Here we go.
On Apple Podcasts, you can get it on Spotify if you missed the show here on Rumble.
Yeah, we don't care.
If you
Shut
have friends that get their shows,
Shut up.
or in podcasts that way, make sure you help get the word out. Let them know. Share it with them.
No,
That's how we
let them
beat the
know.
algorithm. That's how we get ahead of the insanity. It's because of you guys that we're able to do this. So
Guys, fucking guys with the algorithm, guys.
let's make sure everyone who acts.
You guys ready for this? You ready for look? Nobody has better pauses than Don Jr. Nobody has better fucking pauses than Don Jr. Check that shit out. Look at that. Oh man. Oh Jesus. It's so easy. It's just so easy. Okay, I apologize. I do apologize. Sorry. Sorry. I'm trying to be professional. Okay, here we go.
Actually wants to hear the truth can get to it. For all of the top headlines that will come.
Oh, for crying out loud! Enough with the
also
ads.
Check out my news app, MXM News, like minute by minute, MXM,
you go forward?
where you can get the mainstream news without the mainstream bias. And we'll get into all of the top news in just a moment. But first, don't forget to also check out some of our great and brave sponsors who have the guts to support a show like this.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Check out
device or not. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're at.
Yeah. After seeing that, are you surprised that the New York Post got into the ISIS terrorist house hours before the FBI showed up? Think about that. A reporter from a newspaper.
I'm sorry. You gotta get it from the beginning.
Out of the Trump hotel.
There we go. We'll get it from the beginning. Good God, he makes it so difficult. Here is opening.
Good evening and welcome to another huge episode of Triggered. This has been a rather awful start to the new year. 14 people are dead and many more are injured after an ISIS attack in New Orleans. There was also a car bomb that exploded out of the Trump hotel in Las Vegas. Tonight, we're going
to... Man, he sounded like the ticker on the car bomb. Trump hotel.
To be joined by terrorism expert Seb Gorka. So,
have those words ever been said before? Terrorism expert Seb Gorka? Since fucking when? Gorka. Since when is fucking Gorka? Oh, well, hello, Gorka. How are you, Gorka? Well, it's fancy meeting you here, Seb. How are you, Mr. Gorka? Like, when is he as a terrorism expert? Anyway, all right, sorry. It's just, I think it's hilarious. I just want to hear his beginning, and then we'll go to where he talks about where he talks about all this stuff.
So you're not going to want to miss it. I hope you all had a great new year yourselves and perhaps with your loved ones.
That sounded heartfelt. Did you feel that one, guys? Did you feel that one right in your... Oh, thank you, appreciate it. A couple shots of Polish cognac, amigo. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. Sorry.
But this is not a great start. This is what happens when you have open borders, when you have...
That's what I wanted you to hear. That's what I wanted you to hear right there. Did you hear that? Things like this are happening because of the open borders, right? American citizens are somehow being radicalized in Egypt, coming over and doing stupid shit because of the open borders. Now, yeah, I know I'm not a fucking genius. I really do. You know what I mean? But what in the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Do people believe this? Like, oh yeah, it is the border. The guy was from Houston. He's an American citizen. The other guy was in the army. You know what I mean? What are we talking about here? All right, let me go to Gorka. I don't want to hear what he says. I don't care about his little fucking... I don't care. Here he goes, right there. All right, there we go. Gorka. Play Gorka. Say Gorka.
Happy New Year to you. And I'm sorry, the 18 days cannot come fast enough, can they, Don?
No, I was saying, like, we're off to a banger start of 2025. Hopefully we get some of that fixed. But the real problem with fixing anything is
the fact that these people committing the atrocities in terrorism acts are on our side of the political aisle. You think that's what he's going to say? You're going to think, wow, you think Don Jr. and Seb Gorka as the fucking expert on terrorism all of a sudden is going to say, you know what we really have is a right-wing terrorism problem in this country. These right-wing radicalists are really fucking shit up. Is that, you think that's what I don't think that's going to come out of his mouth. What do you think?
You are still saddled, Seb, with the disasters of the last 4 years, right? A porous open borders. If these cells that may or may, I'm sure there's a lot more than what we know about and what they've told us. If they start activating, you can shut the border.
It's all a conspiracy.
Down now, but there could be thousands of people that are literally terrorists in our country right now. People who have been radicalized. You see,
right? And it's funny that they don't seem to be causing any fucking trouble, but the people that do live here as actual American citizens and were in the military that fucking just happen to be watching Fox News on every single military base and were radicalized by the propaganda on the right are the ones committing these acts. That's what's going on. You're just not getting it. Are you just not getting it? Is it that difficult, or do they not care, or is it just a fucking game to them? Which of the three is it?
See what's going on college campus with the Palestinian protests cheering on the murder and rape of people in the streets in Israel
by the IDF. I'm sorry,
still from October 7th of last year. I mean, 2 years ago now, but this stuff is.
Again, imagine being mad at people, and again, I have my own issues with the fucking people that the mind-blowingly stupid idiots that somehow thought that Donald Trump was going to be better on any of these policies, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be Israel and Gaza, whether it be immigration. Like the people that actually were on the left supposedly, but were mad at Kamala and Joe, rightly so. I think you could fucking talk about their policies and how they've handled what's going on in Gaza. I have my own fucking particular issues with them, but guess what? I'm not stupid enough to think that, let's see, the other guy's better, right? I understand that if I have to choose between two people, I am going to choose the lesser of two evils, right? I am put in that position. I didn't choose to be in that position. That's the position that I was given. That's the position that I have to be in. So if I'm looking at the two people, even though I'm mad at this one for something, I know this one is much worse. So therefore, I'm going to vote for this one. I'm not going to remove myself from that, thus giving the opposition, a benefit of having the numbers as far as people not voting because you're mad at Kamala. If you have the fucking arrogance and stupidity to think now that you're going to come on fucking TV and be like, oh my God, we didn't vote for Kamala. We were mad at her about the policies, but, we voted Trump, but now it doesn't look like he's going to do what we no fucking shit, you stupid motherfucker. No fucking shit. Good God almighty. I saw that and I fucking could not stand it. I think there was an article, I forget if it was last week or the week before, about, and you've seen the guy from Michigan coming on and saying, oh, geez, oh, man, looks like it's going to be worse now. We were mad at Kamala, but wow, well, we didn't really think he was going to, what the fuck is wrong with you? Good Lord. At least I feel like the other side is people we could talk to and fucking get our beliefs out there and, maybe even protest to let them know that this is how we feel on this fucking particular situation. We don't want any more men, women and children to be fucking needlessly killed in Gaza or the West Bank. These people I think can be fucking swayed at least more than this side can. And how you could possibly think that either stepping back and doing nothing or choosing the other side was the fucking correct political choice is beyond the fucking realm of my thinking. I can't. There's nothing in me that can comprehend that sort of fucking stupidity. I just can't. I'm sorry. Tangent over.
It's insane. What do you make of all of it, and what can really be done? Because it feels like it's the kind of thing they're gonna, the media will gladly try to blame on Trump, even if they got in through the porous Joe Biden border, the weak and sort of.
Again, they did. These people, what he's talking about, the reason he's even having the Seb Gorka on has nothing to do with the southern border. Zero fucking connection to the southern border, right? But again, because their radical ideas and beliefs are going to come out when they get into office and get into power in the form of executive orders by Donald Trump saying that we got to round fucking people up. This is what they have to do to kind of butter their fucking people up to it, right? They have to make it seem as bad as possible. They have to make it seem like they're under fucking as much attack as possible. Your life is under threat. You can't walk down the street. You can't do anything. Remember Donald Trump used to say, oh, excuse me, the people from like Nebraska used to go to Washington D.C. and get fucking shivved on the sidewalk. Like, come on, what the fuck are you talking about? You live your everyday people, right? You live every single day. You have to go and do your errands. You have to fucking pick up your kids. You have to drop the kids off, go to school. You have to go to the grocery store, right? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Because as I see it, the crime rate from since 1990 to now is like this. Sorry, is like this. Is fucking straight down. Have we had spikes in certain areas? Did COVID have an effect? Yes, absolutely. But to not talk about COVID, to not involve COVID and even the economic effects of what's going on in this country. I mean, the homeless, how we just came out with that report. We just saw the report that the homelessness in this country has gone up. The homelessness of veterans has gone down, which is a good thing. But in totality, the homeless number has gone up. We're still dealing, and that's because we're still dealing with the effects from COVID, right? Some people didn't manage to hang on right away. Right? It's made them homeless. Some people managed to hang on just a little bit longer, right? They kept it going just a little bit longer. Now we're seeing the people that were trying to keep it going just kind of ran out, right? It just wasn't feasible at some point. So now we're starting to see the people that were kind of holding on at the end of the pandemic, right? Now struggling to pay for the goods and services that are more expensive because of the effects of fucking COVID again. They're somehow, put out of business or can't find a job or whatever the fuck the situation may be. Right. I mean, there's many ways that I think that that we could have like helped the messaging along a little bit, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Here we go.
Castrated FBI that's more focused on DEI initiatives than actually stopping terrorists, etc.
Look, I've been doing this for a quarter of a century. I've been doing counterterrorism for 25 years.
I've been doing it.
Amazing
I've been doing this. Is that what his fucking position was? I've never in my life heard of fucking Seb Gorka as a counterterrorism expert, right? Maybe that's what the fuck he did, but guess what? I didn't hear about it, so I don't give a fuck. But it's Seb Gorka. I did this for half a century. I did this for a quarter century. I've done this. I've been in the terrorism game, Sir Don Jr. Fix that little white on your nose, please. You might want to wipe your nose, please.
And I get to run it for him in the White House and for Mike Waltz as the National Security Advisor. But you don't have to do what I've done for a quarter of a century. Just do the math. For 4 years,
we are doing the math
under Kamala Harris and Joe.
I know we're past this point. I really know we're past this point, but this whole fucking Kamala thing still fucking irks me. Still fucking irks me. Her name is Kamala. It's really fucking simple. It's not that difficult. I know it's a whole misogynistic thing, and you almost look like an asshole now if you're on the right and you say it correctly. Like when Donald Trump says it correctly on stage, he almost says it incorrectly the next time to make up for it. Like he knows the name, and sometimes it just comes out as such. But then he'll be like, "Oh shit, that's not what they call her. I'll have to go back to Kamala or fucking Kamala, whatever the stupid shit they were saying."
Biden and the most wicked man of all in their administration, Alejandro Mayorkas. They've let in, according to their figures, Don, 8 million illegals. If you listen to
whoa, I am sorry, Mr. Sebastian. I am sorry, but thank you, Slacks. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, dude. What a fucking gentleman you are. I'm going to read all those at the end. I do appreciate you, buddy. But Mr. Gorka, excuse me, sir, but are you going against what Donald Trump has said for the last 4 years? That there is over 20 million illegal aliens in our country led in by Donald Trump. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Are you going against what Donald Trump is saying? Because that is far below the number that I've been fucking hearing from basically the entire right wing for the entirety of the fucking 4 years that Joe Biden has been president. Isn't it over 20 million, guys? What happened to where's the other 12? What happened to the 12? So we now lost more than there's actually in our country, right? The number dropped from what Donald Trump has been saying more than we actually have in our fucking country. And at what point was it lower? All right. So let me see if we can do this without crashing the system, which it doesn't look like I can. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. Is that all right? Everybody's here? Everybody's good? Oh, Jesus. All right. All right. Let me see here. Fuck. What was I just talking about? I got so nervous that the camera, the computer's going to crash. What was I just talking about? Hit me in the chat. Fuck. What was I just looking? Oh, got it. Let's see. Sorry about my suit jacket dragging on the alley. By year. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to see how that stacks up. Really, can I find a comparison, like a year by year? All right. Reported border encounters increased from 2020 to 2023. Does this? Let me see if I can share this tab instead to you guys. Can you now see it? I gotta make sure that you can see it. No, you can't. So I'm gonna do this. All right. So it says reported border encounters, and this is USA Facts, increased from 2020. But these are the numbers here. So it looked like in, which one's this? December 2023. Oh, this isn't by. This isn't what I want to see. I'm trying to like how many do we have in the country per year? Like, how does this stack up? Let's see. In the U.S. Number in the U.S. by year. And sorry, I don't mean to call them illegals, but that's what it's going to bring up. Let's see here. I just need a graph or something. Research what we know about this. Documented 11 million. Undocumented population increased. Let's see here. United States unauthorized. USA Facts is what I just clicked on. Is this what this is? Estimated population of unauthorized immigrants residing in the United States. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I got to pull up the files for crying out loud. Oh, let's just pull up one. Let's just do, I don't know. Let's do 2007. See what happens. They give us a direct number. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what? I think I'm going to back out of that one because it has to pull up the whole PDF file. I don't know if that's going to be doable while I'm on here. I just want to know, like, how does the 8 million stack up, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that stack up to by year? Like, how many was there in 2007? How many was there in 96? How many was there in 2013? How many is there now? Is it like, are we talking like a huge discrepancy? Or is it lower than it has been in some years? Is it higher? Do you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not in the United States, Wes. What do you mean? Were? Or where? Anyways. All right. So let me get to just 2 more seconds of this.
Hadn't turned his head.
Oh, you can't even see it. Hold on. That's stupid. Yeah. Nope. I don't want to remove. I'm going to answer this. There we go. Nope. I'm going to be just the same size here. Here we go. More propaganda for you that we're calling out. Believe me, this is the whole point of this.
If he hadn't shown that slide, at the beginning of the speech, not the end of the speech, I'm afraid we would have kissed America goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess doesn't all of this show, whether it's the incompetence, the fact that it happened, the fact that this administration continues to play these sorts of games and or sort of put America last, doesn't it show that we need to get people like Kash Patel and frankly the rest of my father's cabinet confirmed ASAP? I mean, Kash Patel as the next FBI director seems to be a no-brainer. If this stuff's going on and no one seems to know,
listen, I agree with him. Fuck, where is it? Where is he? I do agree with him. Kash Patel as FBI director is a no-brainer because you would have to have absolutely no fucking brain whatsoever to think that's a good idea. So yes, I do agree with Don on that one. It is a fucking no-brainer. No-brainer. Because you would be a fucking moron to think that it has anyway. All right. I'm done with him. Right. So we're going to talk about how I already brought up that tomorrow is January 6th. Right. And I think it'd be very poignant to pull up this tweet put out by Adam Kinzinger. And let me see if I can add it to the stage for you. Let me do this one. Nope, that didn't do anything. That did. All right, here we go. Can I make it bigger? Oh, these are the ones that, yeah, here we go. All right, I'm going to start this from the beginning. I'm going to make it large so you can see it.
We certainly don't care about it. In a lot of ways, for me, the last election was a referendum on January 6th, and it was a referendum on,
so, hold on.
my own experience.
just in case anybody does not know, the top is Michael Fanone, who was a Capitol police officer, obviously on January 6th. In the middle is Harry Dunn, who also was a police officer, Capitol police officer on January 6th, and Adam Kinzinger, obviously on the bottom there. But just so everybody knows who's involved here, speaking about their own experiences here on the eve of the third anniversary of January 6th.
By the American people, and I think that it was a resounding, we don't give a shit. We certainly don't care about your experience.
Can I just that is an F. That is an F for whoever edited this and tried to put the bleep on shit. Total failure on that one. Hold on. Can I play? I want to play that one again. Total fucking failure on that one. Here we go.
And that's something that I've come to accept, that that this idea that this country is somehow compassionate and empathetic towards one another has just not been my experience. People's
sad though, right? Sad when you got the guy that was literally beaten almost to pulp, almost to his death on January 6th, talking about how he doesn't feel like the American people really support, obviously because of their vote, right? Because of maybe the interactions that he has, but definitely because, we somehow let Donald Trump back into office, right? Does not feel like people gave a shit or do give a shit about what happened on January 6th. Just, it's sad to hear from somebody that was so directly impacted and involved, as we sat and watched from our fucking couches with our, fucking hot pockets and shit. He's getting beat to a pulp, and now he's got to sit there and watch Donald Trump take office again. I don't know how you could fucking feel on that one. I really don't know how. It'd be impossible for me to figure out how he feels in that. But here's another thing I wanted to show. A little good news, a little light humor here if I can find it. We've heard and we've talked a lot in the past about. We continue to talk about Ukraine and in the situation that they're in Russia, and the situation that they're in basically economically and financially, and the impacts that we want our sanctions to have, and the impacts that our sanctions have had on their economic system. It's taken a long time. It really has. I think they were a little bit more insulated, I think, and maybe had a little bit more, not good stockpile in reserve, but had a little bit more in reserve than at least the American public would think. So we were kind of hoping right when the sanctions got put in place that, would see, direct impact and direct effects, but they kind of slid and made their way through them for a long time. But now we're starting to see the impacts. I know Hal was talking on his show about the relationship between Russia and China kind of degrading, and the economic impacts of that. But I also wanted to show you this. Let's see here if I can find it, which would be great. I'm gonna have to come up with a different system on this one. I know I sent it to myself. All right, that was the weapons cache. That one's that one. This is the show link I sent to him. Oh, here we go. God, it's hard because I had to email all these things to myself. Yes, I'm over 18. All right, stop. Okay, pause. Share this tab instead. How we doing, everybody? There we go. All right, now I'm going to make it bigger. And I'm going to make it so you can hear it, and then we're all set. This is the Russian citizen, Russian gentleman, talking about the increase that he's seeing recently in the prices of goods in Russia. And we've also seen going around Reddit, going around Telegram, pictures of empty shelves in Russia, pictures of supermarkets that have absolutely nothing for these people. But this one seems to be stocked, but at a cost, right? So let me see if I can play this for you guys. Let me start at the beginning. And here we go.
Мы ведем горячий репортаж, просто прям вот горяченьким берем. Смотрите, сколько стоит масло. Вот такое масло.
Should I read it out for the people that are listening? All right. So if you're just listening, on the podcast form, then he's holding up right now what looks to be a little pack of butter, butter, as the rest of the country would say. We call it butter. Buddah, butter. But yeah, so he's now going to be talking about, I think, how much this butter is now costing him. How much is it? He says 365 rubles, or what is that? $3.30.
365 рублей. Недельку назад.
But he talks about how this same pack of butter a week ago only cost 200 rubles, or $1.80. Right? So, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I'd say that's a good percentage increase on the price of what he's talking about there. And I would assume that would go for some of the other things in the store as well. I doubt that butter is the only thing that's costing more, but yeah, just a little bit more.
200 рублей стоило, 365 рублей, 160 грамм, 160 грамм. Я думал, что это прикол.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Село зеленое. Смотрим. 342.
Again, look at the shelves here. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see it. That doesn't seem like a. I know they tried their best to make it look like a stock shelf, right? They try their best there to make it look like a stock shelf. But if you look just in, where am I? If you look just in this area here, like the top shelf, I mean, what the fuck is that? I mean, that's a lot of empty space. Looks like they got 3 of those things left and about 2 of those things left. You know, there's not anything here next to the butter beside me. There's nothing right here. I don't know what's going on in this empty space here, but I don't know. Doesn't seem to be like Tucker Carlson made it seem to be, right? This must not be the supermarket that Tucker Carlson went to.
Это что происходит? Это с учетом недели 200 рублей стоило. Это подорожание сколько? 80%.
Here we go. 80% increase in price. 80 fucking percent in, what did he say, a week? In a week. Sorry, I was just laughing at her. Oh yeah, and anybody that sends a Venmo, there's a Venmo up in the corner there. If you take a picture of that, send $1. Shows up on my phone. I read that out as well with the other fantabulous people that have gifted, donated, hit their milestone in the membership. Let me know that you've been here for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, fighting with us. So I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you're hitting the like button. I know I never say it, but you are watching Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. Please hit that like button, share it out, subscribe if you are not subscribed already. And again, if you love me, if you have the financial ability to do so, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can become a channel member, 3 ways. Sorry, you can become a channel member for $1.99 under me. You can become a Patreon member for as low as $5, or you can go to the merch store at Get Dem Shirts, DEM, like Democrat, getdemshirts.myshopify.com for literally some of the best merch on the internet. And I know a lot of people say that, but I truly believe it is. We have non-political stuff on there. So if you got, problems with mental health, if you're a single mom, if you support Ukraine, again, a lot of great organizations that we donate to, throughout the profits for the shirt. So make sure you hop on there. Just check it out. Just check it out. Maybe you'd see something you like. There's hoodies, there's cups, there's tons of stuff on there. So please check that out. But let me just play the end of this, and then we'll get into the end of the show. Maybe I might even end on time this week.
Сколько процентов? Хотя до этого еще за пару недель подорожало это масло. А 2 месяца назад оно стоило 161 рубль.
All right. And that is that. Now, I wonder if we could do, let me see if I can get rid of a bunch of these so I don't shut down my computer. And I got a couple minutes, so maybe I can just pull this up. Russia, no. Let's see, images. There we go. Let's go. It's this one here. Show this tab instead. What's this we got here? Closed shops, green ribbons, Russia Post, invasion reality. Let's see here. When was this? April 14th, 2022. So that's not going to help me. That ain't going to help me. Let's see, is there any new ones? Let's go to news. Let's go to news. Where's the news? There we go. News. 2024. Russia's crackdown on migrants record backfires. More price increases. There we go. More price increases and empty shelves in the cart. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this the UK? Why is that showing me that? Good grief. Good grief. Anyway. Video of soaring prices. I was already at that one. There we go. Make myself bigger. But, yeah, I was trying to pull up the empty shelves, but for some reason it was showing me, like, Brexit UK stuff. Can I get big? Where am I? Good Lord. There we go. All right. Coming up on the end of the show, I'm going to get into super chats here so I don't go over too much. What is this all about? Why is screens popping up that I don't know? But first, again, I would like to remind everybody, and first, let me say thank you to our special guest this afternoon, Pastor Benjamin Dixon. Thank you so much again for your time, your energy, your passion, your efforts in our community. Please, anybody that has not already checked out his work or subscribed to his channel, please do so. I will go back after and put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. I really do appreciate you guys. Again, this is not about drama. This is not about, just making content for content and clickbait and all that stuff. This is real. Like, this is actual impacts on our movement. You may not think it, you may not realize it, but the sway that Cenk and Ana and TYT have as an entity that has that many followers and subscribers and listeners, the message they put out gets out to a broad base. And we have to make sure that that broad base knows that the shit that they're being fed now is horse shit, from at least Cenk and Ana. Let me, again, make that clear. I'm not talking about the John Iderolas. I'm not talking about the Jordan Yules. I'm not talking about J.R. Jackson. I'm not talking about, Wozny Lambre. Who else? There's so many good creators. Francesca Fiorentini. I'm going to forget her name. What's her name? Lord forgive me for saying it, but I can't think of her name. I do apologize. But they have fantastic people over there is what I'm trying to get out. And they've now been put in a position where, again, they're trying to figure out where to go, what to do, what to say next, Oh, Woz left. I just saw him talking to somebody, was it yesterday or the day before on TYT Live? I just saw him. Maybe he's just not a part of the network officially anymore, but still does it. But again, he's still on the eve of, the third anniversary of January 6th and the attack on the Capitol and, the attempted overturning of a free and fair election. I really would like people to think about what we are fighting for, why we're doing this, what we're up against. I want you to continue to be passionate and to continue to have that fire in your belly. Remember the feeling you had on January 6th. Remember what you felt looking at these people, breaking down barriers and punching police officers in the face and having batons and bear spray and firework, flashbangs going off, climbing in the window. Think of what you saw that day. Anytime you're like, oh, I'm getting kind of sick of this, why are we doing this? Just remember what January 6th was. Okay? Remember how that's going to go down in the history of the annals in this fucking country. That day will be forever. It might even be more impactful later on in the future than it is right now. For some reason, I feel like people have tuned it out, just like they tuned out COVID, just like these economic fools who try to figure out what the fuck's going on with the economy in the United States and somehow don't factor in the economy to any of their fucking calculations. The short memory of an American citizen is really nothing to be fucked with. That is just literally might be the most powerful thing, because if you can extend your memory, literally, that's all you got to do. Extend your memory to be like, wow, these people fucking were the same people that attacked the Capitol. Wow, this is the same guy that stole top secret classified documents from the fucking White House and put him in his bathroom at fucking wow, this is the same guy that was credibly found liable for sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. This is the person that went on to defame E. Jean Carroll multiple times afterwards. This is the guy that cheated on his fucking wife who just had a baby 5 months ago with a porn star at a fucking golf event and then paid her off so she wouldn't say anything so his fucking presidential run wouldn't get fucked up. And then paid other fucking magazines to run stories about other people. I mean, all we got to do, just extend your memory. That's all it is. That's literally all it fucking is. Just remember the things that have happened. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go through it once again. We're going to get these fucking crazy press conferences. We're going to get these ludicrous fucking statements. We're going to get these fucking unbelievably, demonstrably fucking authoritarian policies put in place. And it just reminds me of this. And I just want to, this kind of gets me every time, really. So
you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
You know, I want that fire and that passion to be burning in the souls. And I understand it's a movie, but the words still should resonate with you, right? It should still burn, fucking light a fire under your ass to do something. And whether it's get involved in your communities, right? Sign up for the fucking HOA committee. Go to the fucking public school. Go to the school committee. Go get on the board there. Become, whatever it is. Volunteer at the YMCA. Fucking become the mailman. I don't know what the fuck it is. Get involved in your community so that way you're talking to people. You're communicating with people. You can get our message out. You know, you're like Pastor Ben said, get your message out on social media. Don't be afraid. Share the shows out. Tell people why they should be watching these shows. You know, that's what I want. That's what I want for us. And, you know, I vowed to be here and give you an honest and blunt version of how I see what's going on in today's society. And I hope you will get behind me in our fight. I really do hope that, you know, the words that I say and you know, the beliefs that I hold really come across to you guys would really be fucking great, because, you know, when somebody's just sitting up
I'm
here,
standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
I think that's something you can get behind. I don't know. It's something that just a thought I have, but I think maybe, you know, being on the opposite side of the racist, being on the opposite side of the bigots, making sure that people in our own community, right? I would never go into battle with a squad or a company where I had people that were either, fucking sympathetic to the enemy, right? You don't go into battle with people that could possibly fucking lay down their arms, right? You don't go into battle with these people that are knowingly fucking friendly with the people that you're going into battle against. You go into battle with the people that you know are going to stick around you, that you know are going to have your fucking back, right? We don't want these scumbags. We don't want them around. We don't need you, okay? We have our message. We know what we know is right, right? We know right from wrong, up from down. You don't need to be a Rhodes Scholar. You don't need to be a fucking political strategist to understand what the fuck's going on. I'm a normal, everyday guy, a blue-collar fucking work in the plumbing industry. You know, I bust my ass every day to make sure that people have running water, heat, electricity. I don't know why I said electricity, but, you know, heat, running water, fucking, you know, the amenities that you need to survive. And then I come on here and I try to express my beliefs of how I think, you know, the everyday man and woman, the everyday working people should be treated in the rights they should be afforded, you know. I want unions to be strong. I want the working class to have their fucking fair share. I want this, you know, bullshit with the trickle down economics to be banished to history forever, because it's horse shit, right? Help the homeless, help veterans. Get these fucking people on our party that are just sucking up money, right? Get Nancy Pelosi out. I don't need her or her $65 fucking million anymore. I don't need it. I don't need it. All you're doing is giving the right wing ammunition to come back at us because to say we're fucking corrupt. That's all you're doing. Thank you for your services. Fucking bon voyage. Let some fucking younger cats in there. Let's get some younger fighters in there. Let's get some energy and some passion in there, right? Let's not, you know, fall back to the status quo. Obviously, it didn't work, so we need change. So let's fucking change. All right. And I'm sorry. I'm ranting and raving, and I didn't even get into the fucking super chat yet. All right. Let's get into the super chats. Hold on. Let's see.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful, give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
You are absolutely lovely as an audience, and I very, very much appreciate your attention and your passion. The people that continue to come back week after week, show after show, and make this community. We're heading towards 10,000 guys. I know that sounds small in comparison to a lot of these other creators that either I've been had on the show or in the same space, but they had to start somewhere as well. They had to get to 10,000 at some point as well. So I am very, very grateful, and I feel honestly very blessed to have the community building around this show that I do. So thank you guys, literally from the bottom of my heart. I really could not say thank you in a more meaningful way to show you exactly how much I appreciate the time and attention and contributions to the show. So thank you so much.
Hey, you got a little chubby going there.
Ma'am, please, that is uncalled for. That is just not necessary. I was thanking them. Please. God damn it, Grandma. Anyway, all right, let me thank the let me thank you. Jerry, first one up. Thank you so much. Oh, let me get rid of my no, I don't have to. Thank you, Jerry. Keep on keeping up the good fight. Thank you so much. Slava Ukraine. I appreciate you so much, Jerry, week after week. Sheldon Hughes. It's Brian and Benjamin time. Let's go. What a wonderful guest he was. Such a passionate human being, such a wonderful soul. Tobias Skeen, time flies. It does. 10 months, brother. I appreciate you, dude. Can you believe it? Have we been here a year yet? I'm not even sure the first month that I started. So I'm curious to see who's going to be the first member, right? Who's going to be the first member to hit 1 year, right? And I feel like a big asshole if that's already happened, but I don't think it has. I don't think it has, but that's going to be a cool moment to see who that is. A Gatorade for you, Brian. Thank you so much. Oh, Jerry, speaking of which, just so you guys don't think I'm lying, I know it's not Gatorade, but this is, just so you don't think I'm lying when I say I don't drink coffee, right? Then if you send me a couple bucks on Venmo, shit, going on my suit. Going on my suit. No, get off my suit. Anyways, oh, shiza, off my suit. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not lying to you. Cheers. Sláinte. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I really do. I really, really do. So Sheldon, thank you. Tobias, Jerry, again, thank you so much. Tobias with the 10. Dude. Again, this is, I think, the most generous way to contribute to the show. I mean, because it's literally coming out of your pocket. You get nothing from it. You're helping out 10 fantastic people in the chat that now have a channel membership and get to use the emojis and it really is fantastic when you get to see that little symbol next to somebody to know that they're a member of the channel and they care just that much more. They're just in the financial position to do so. I don't want to say you can more, but you get where that boat's going, or where I'm trying to get that boat to go. So thank you, Tobias, Independent. Hi, Brian, and everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year back to you, Independent. Thank you for being here for 8 months. I really do appreciate it. See, say stop busting my balls in your accent. Stop busting your balls in my accent. Or in your accent. First, everybody knows it's park the car in Howard Yard. We got to go to the bar, have a beer. After that, we'll figure out what we're going to do in March. That type of shit. We're going to, I don't know what, but I don't think there's anything in that where it accentuates my Boston accent in that sentence. Yeah, so confusing. But thank you so much for being here for 9 months. I really do appreciate you. I really, really. Oh, excuse me. The Powerade got me. Happy that Pastor Ben is visiting. Yes, I mean, I am. Again, so thankful that these bigger creators, whether it be 100,000, 200,000, 800,000, would take time out of their day because, again, I understand how much this takes to put on. So for them to, and they also do videos, right? Like I have to get into cutting up this show and making shorter videos to people to watch because that's a good way to get more subscribers. But I just, finding the time to go through the whole show again and cut it up and edit, it's a lot, especially when you're a plumber. You know what I mean? So it's not the easiest thing to do, but I really do appreciate anybody taking their time out to come talk to, again, a smaller channel like this to get the word out. And again, to be as passionate as he has been, coming in to talk. A lot of people, they'll come, but may not be as interested in the conversation as you would want them to be, but that luckily has not happened. So Owen, thank you for becoming a new member, dude. Appreciate you, brother. Ray Bork in the house. Let's go. All the good folks come to Boston, Brian. Must mean something. We need a left-wing Fox News, LOL. Well, you're not far off, Wes, right? From what I was talking about with Pastor Ben. Like, again, what does a left-wing coalition look like in the progressive media space? Is it everybody's just independent but talks about each other and kind of goes on each other's show? Right? Or is it, you know, do we build a Blaze? Do we build a Daily Wire where everybody is kind of, you know, in the same place, right? So it's an actual coalition of, you know, people know exactly where the fuck to go. It's not a guess. Sometimes you miss people. Like, I'm still finding people. I've been in this space for a long time now, right? In watching podcasts and live streams, and I am just discovering people now that are well established and have lots of followers that I never knew about, right? That I agree with what they're saying. You know, I don't agree with everything they're saying, but I agree with a lot of what they're saying. So it's crazy to me that I'm still kind of finding people that have been here and they haven't been pushed to me, and I haven't, you know what I mean? So it's like we have to gather everybody up, put them in the same spot, and give somebody easy access to whatever kind of show they like. You know, if they like my style, if they like, you know, whatever the fuck it might be, the Vanguard style, or Ben Dixon style, or Jesse Dollemore style, or Brittany Page's style, or, you know, whatever it may be, 21st century suffragette style, or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Whoever, it doesn't matter. It's just, I want to get everybody in the same spot, everybody on the same page, same message, focused, laser focused, so it make it easy to people to access. That's my ideas. I'm not huge. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Great show, Boston. Please watch the clickbaity political thirst trap every Thursday at 8 p.m. Catch Ben Mondale and myself giving you the real. Absolutely, Marcus. I appreciate you stopping by, my man. Appreciate you stopping by. I really, really do appreciate that. And I will absolutely make sure to send people there. I actually watched, like I said, I actually played a clip. I think it was that show on air here. I think that's when Mondale, you know, came out against TYT and actually announced, you know, his basically his resignation, if you will. So, Marcus, thank you so much. I do appreciate you, brother. And I will be absolutely sending people to your channel. I really do appreciate it. Bonnie, thank you so much. Who let Wes in? I'm kidding. Yeah. Siha, thank you so much. Gifted 5 memberships. Just Julie, thank you so much. Happy to be here for 4 months. Sally, thank you so much for the 15. Hit the, I can't see what that is. Hit the temperature button to help promote this pro-democracy podcast and help Brian get to 10,000 subscribers. Slava Ukraine, thank you so much. Oh, it's the thumbs up. It's just really small. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sally. And thank you so much, Sally, for gifting a membership. Whoa, Colleen. Goodness gracious, brother. That is unbelievable. Thank you, Boston Brian. Miss your real appearance. T-shirt, cap, living my life as long as I have without being decent and kind. Wait a minute. Let me go back on that one. Let me reverse on that one. Boston Brian, miss your quote real appearance. Oh, I see what you're saying. T-shirt, cap, living my life as long as I have without being decent and kind. I got you. But this is, when you have, when you have a guest on, you want to look, appropriate. This isn't my, Mel said the same thing, but this isn't my everyday wear. I'm trying to look nice for the people coming on and make sure that they know that, I respect their time and I'm not going to sit here looking like a schlub when they come on, basically, you know what I mean? But yeah, when we go to my regular shows, I like being comfortable. I like being able to, move around and have some freedom. But thank you so much, Colleen. That is amazing. Thank you so much for the $100. That is really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. Benny Loco, let's go. I'm happy being a stoner. Channel on the bottom of YouTube that quote, Boit, happy feckless new year, everybody. Appreciate it. Benny, you post some of the funniest shit, dude. I fucking love it. You post some of the funniest shit. Like when you put the filters on, you just like singing down the road, like with some like random lipstick filter on or something. You crack me up. Just fucking cracks me up. Thank you so much. The Angry Ginger, let's go, brother. Sub to Ben Dixon. Good support, good people. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. Let's go. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Thank you so much. Welcome all. You will love Boston Brian. His mods are awesome. Great show. Oh, Ricky, well, thank you so much for giving love to the mods. Again, big shout out to the mods that keep this channel basically going, really. I mean, without the moderation in the chat, people would obviously not have a good time. They would not feel like they could get their message out. They could not feel like they could, combat what I'm saying. I want people to feel like they don't have to agree with what I'm saying. You can combat it. You can have a heated argument or a heated discussion in there. Just don't be bigoted, violent, racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, and you can get your word out. Whether it's right, left, center, doesn't matter what it is. Everybody's welcome here, and we will fight. We will give you the facts as we see them. We will defend our beliefs and defend our values and defend what we say against what you say. And that's basically what politics is. And then we have to come to some sort of agreement on where we go from there. So thank you, Ricky. Very good point. I thank you for acknowledging the mods. Very nice of you. Just switched over from Pastor Ben show. Let's go, Motown. Me. Let's go. Motown feeling back again. God damn. I could play that right now. But copyright. Motown feeling is back again. Oh, man, I used to love like back the boys, the men back in the day used to have all their CDs. On Bended Knee. Come on. Stop it. 'Cause I'm done on bended knee. Oh, let's go. But Motown bringing me back here. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate you. Moms, let's go. Thank you so much. Love you, Brian, Mel. Well, right back at you from the both of us. So happy that you're feeling better. Please continue that upward rise in health. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much for the contribution as well. JD, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker, brother. Appreciate you. What are you doing in that picture? I'm dying to know what you're doing in that picture, but it's so small. Are you hitting a vape? Are you yelling over a loudspeaker? Dying to know. JD, hit me with that one. I have to know what you're doing. John Adam, thank you so much. Great interview, Brian. I appreciate that, John. I appreciate that. I don't really have experience in, I'm sure it comes through in interviewing people and, doing things like this. So I'm kind of learning on the fly. I really take it seriously, and I make sure that I write down information and questions and do the research on the people. And, it's not something that I take lightly and, not, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that I give you guys the best hour or half hour, however we have with the the interviewee. I want to make sure that is the best that we can. And I know I have to learn to shut the fuck up. I do. But, I there's so much when they bring up something, it pops something in my brain, and it's like, yes, you're so right about that. And but I'll get better at making sure that the guest has, more time to get their say in. So I do apologize. Thank you, John. I do appreciate you. Bear Chicago. Let's go, brother. I love Chicago. Chicago is really nice. People shitting on Chicago all the time, and I had no problems whatsoever, and I thought it was a great city. Becky, awesome interview. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Becky. Appreciate your contributions. Jess, let's fucking go. So proud of you, Brian. 2025 is your year. Wouldn't that be something? Haven't had one of those yet. Still waiting for my year. It's not like, wouldn't that, like, what's that? What do they call that? When your age matches, is that like the golden year? What do they call it? When your age matches the year or something like that? But I'm still waiting for my year. Hopefully 2025 is my year. Hopefully I move. Hopefully a lot of things change this year, and they will. I know they will. Arizona Sunflowers, we're very proud of you, Brian. Start with the Y. God damn it. Thanks. You are a gift to us, and I'm only kidding, Arizona Sunflowers, but who spells it with a Y? Honestly, who throws a shoe? Honestly, who spells it with the Y? Thank you, Arizona. I appreciate you. What's up, B? What's up, brother? Another great show, great interview. Thank you so much, Berkeley. Appreciate the $10, dude. Appreciate you so much. Fucking what a fantastic gentleman. What a fantastic human being. Again, he's been in it for the long haul. He's not somebody that is just popping in, popping out. He's very dedicated to the cause. And thank you, Berkeley, so much. I appreciate it. It's been a real pleasure to have your acquaintance in the online community. So thank you so much, dude. Let's see here. What do we got? We got GA Pond with the €5. They're members of a cult who are realizing their leader lied. This won't be the last. Yes. And I believe this is when we were talking about when, MAGA is starting to fuck around and find out that, maybe not such a good thing to have, somebody have such a huge stock and investment in your political leader. And then somebody that's the richest man in the world to have such access. Like imagine what's the equivalent? Imagine Bill Gates, right? Let's imagine Bill Gates all of a sudden just started hanging out at fucking Joe Biden's place in Delaware all the time, right? Like what the fuck would the media do? What would right-wing talk shows do? What would conservatives do if that was going on? If we just pictures all around of Bill Gates hanging out with Joe Biden at his Delaware home, and they were, fucking going to all these fancy parties and they're dancing together, right? Imagine the Joe Biden and George Soros and fucking Bill Gates just like, woo, like, yeah, like, you know, dancing at the party. Like, they don't give a fuck, right? They don't give a shit, right? So, like, what would everybody do? They would lose their shit. But because it's Elon Musk, and because it's Donald Trump, and because it's the right wing, and because of this and that, and then the other thing, you know, everybody's okay with it, really, right? No, not so much. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like there is a little, but we'll see where it goes. Because again, it all ends at what the God leader says. So if the dear God leader, the fearless fucking leader, tells you to lick the boots, and this is what I want, they'll lick the boots and they'll do what he wants. Because that's how it goes. But again, just think of the reverse situation of that. Would be fucking hilarious. But thank you, GA. Appreciate you. Don from Massachusetts. Let's go. Happy New Year, Brian, in chat room. Right back at you, Don. I appreciate you. A couple shots of Polish cognac, amigo. Thank you so much, huh? I appreciate you so much. And the $20. Thank you so much. Slacks. Let's go, brother. Here we go. Love Brian, Mel, Logan. Love to all the Bryantologists. Just got back from a bucolic Wurtzboro. What? Who? Excuse you? Love Brian, Mel, and Logan. Love to all Bryantologists. Just got back from on bucolic Wurtzboro. That's a real place? Who the hell named that one? Late Christmas with our daughter, and son-in-law, Slava Ukraina, Heroyam Slava, Slacks, right back at you. The father, or what is the second in charge? What would the second in charge be? Like the second high priest of Bryantology, right? Like you created it, but, you know, I kind of have to be the Pope. That's just how it goes. But thank you, Brunt. I really do appreciate it, Slacks. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your contributions every week, your kind words, and your love towards, you know, Mel and Logan is really, really, really special. I appreciate it. Tobias, let's go. Watch Coach Junior's mouth. Oh, you guys crack me up. Thank you so much, Tobias. Left Wing Gorilla, $5 super sticker. Let's go, dude. Left Wing Gorilla with the $2. Let's go, dude. Left Wing Gorilla with the fucking $5. Let's go, dude. Biden plans to send $8 billion arms shipment to Israel. I'm like, listen, I do have to bring it up more on the show. I do. I have to make a concerted effort to make sure that I'm, again, calling out my side, regardless of you know, basically for my principles, right? Am I principally opposed to what Israel is doing to the people of Gaza and the West Bank? Yes, right? Do I think they should have defensive weapons to be able to defend themselves against Iran, Hamas and others? Absolutely. But, you know, we have to do a better job, really do. And I kind of got sucked into the team aspect running up to the election. And I think if you run it back, I will probably be the first lefty creator on the internet to put up my hand and say, hey, I was wrong, right? I apologize. I fell into the team aspect of, just steamrolling ahead no matter what and not kind of focusing on what the actual situation was, right? And I promise not to do that again. So if something happens, and I continue to say it, if you're on the left, if you're in the center, if you're on the right, if you're fat, poor, rich, black, white, Chinese, doesn't matter. I don't care who the fuck you are or what the fuck you're doing. If you're doing something that goes against our left-wing progressive ideals and it's hurting the community, if it's hurting actual people, you will be called the fuck out, right? And that includes the leadership of the Democrats. That includes the leadership of the fucking Republicans. That includes everybody. Everybody can get it. You want some? Come fucking get it. If not, I'm coming for you. So I want to make that fucking clear. But thank you, Left Wing Gorilla. I appreciate you. Thank you, Nikki, for becoming a new member. Thank you, Nicholas. I hit the like, but I can't stay. It's a family day. Always is, Nick, and we appreciate you for it. It kind of reminds me of, and I was going to bring this up with Pastor Ben. I used to go to church, and I did the whole church thing growing up. My grandmother was fucking straight lined in it, right? So I did church every Sunday, and I was, baptized, and I did the whole, CCD. I did the whole thing. So, but, I was going to talk with Pastor Ben about shit. What was I going to say? Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the family day, that I was the only one in our high school, right? I was the first person in my high school that literally got a pass from going to Sunday baseball practice because my grandmother would literally lay the baseball coach out if he didn't let me go to church. Like if I didn't go to church, he would get some, and he knew that. So I literally had a pass that I didn't, or I would usually be late to Sunday morning baseball practice because I had to go to church. Just a funny story. Sorry. But thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate it. Family is obviously much more important, the most important thing. So Loretta Smith, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Brian and Benjamin, for the show. You are so very welcome, Loretta. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Hello from a snowy Indiana. Thanks for a lovely Sunday show. As always, Brian, Mel, and Mods. You go great with a pot of coffee. See you Wednesday. Oh, Jenny Faye, thank you so much. Yeah, I think the snow that's coming this way is going south of me. So if anybody was worried about the weather coming at me on the East Coast, I think it's going south. I don't think we're really getting much up here, but again, that could change. Let's see here. Neuropilot, cheers. Skip my IRL Sunday church today. Thank you for the $2. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. I apologize for making you skip anything. I hope you didn't have to leave anything out of your Sunday, your Sunday schedule to come see me. But I really do appreciate not only you stopping by, but also taking the time and the money to chip in. So thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Benny Loco, onward through the fog, America. Amen. I appreciate you, Benny Loco. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Brian. We need you out here. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, you don't need me, but I think I'm hoping it's good to have me, right? Like I have no doubt the progressive movement would go on, right? But I hope it's nice to have me. That's the thing. Benny Local, love y'all. Stay safe out there. Thank you so much for your contributions, Benny Local. I appreciate you. Almost there. Thank you. 10 months. Oh, almost there to a year. I get you. Rox, you going to be the first? Is Rox going to be the first? Citizen Tim Scott, let's go. Remember for 9 months. I like the new look, Boston Brian. Again, not a new look. I want to make people clear. This is just shit I have in my closet, too. I don't want to make it seem like I ran out and, changed my whole wardrobe and bought a bunch of shit for interviews. No, this is stuff I have. So this is not, you just haven't seen it. That's all. You just haven't seen it. I did the whole, I'm a regular dude. Sometimes I have to go dressed up places. Sometimes I don't. Well, most of the time you see me when I don't have to go places. But thank you, Tim. Appreciate you, dude. Let's see, Treva. What's with the suit and flannel? Oh, come on. Everybody's making fun of me. No, I'm just kidding. No, like I said, I want to be respectful to the guests. I want to make sure that they know they're coming to somebody serious and not somebody that's I just feel like sometimes you can get the wrong impression from a hoodie and a backwards hat, right? That's my favorite look. That's how I am the most comfortable, and that's probably how you're going to see me next show. But I'm just saying, if somebody with, some status, let's say, comes in, you want to make sure that you look respectable and appropriate. That's all. Keep up the good work, MK says. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. We're almost at the end here. OG Adam, let's go, brother. You available to YouTube and our echo chamber. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you are. Mahalo. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much for being here and for your services. Great show today. We are so proud of you. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys had a good one. Tamra gifted 5 memberships. What a saint you are, Tamra. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Citizen Tim Scott is back. Love the casual Friday look. What? Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, I got you. Okay, I see. People are on both sides. We might have to do a poll. In the chat, but no, we can't do that because I don't want you to ever say I can't dress up, right? Thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much, Nikki, for the super sticker. Thank you, Rosanna. Every time, that's what comes to my head. I'm sorry. Send in an I love you to each and every one of you. Love is the answer. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. What a fantastic contributions, Rosanna. I appreciate you so much. I really do. Slacks is back at it. Bucolic, Wurtsboro, New York. Wurtsboro, New York is 2 hours north of New York City. Gotcha. Okay. I'm filled in now. Now I'm like the bucolic historian now. I know everything about bucolic. Bukaki, colic. Somebody had to say it. And that was it. That was to round out everybody that put in a super chat. So I really do thank you guys, to everybody that hit a milestone. Again, make sure you're sharing, subscribing. That would be fantastic. We had over 1,400 people in here watching when Pastor Ben was in here. So hopefully that this video does well. Hopefully this live does well, and you guys share it out on all the social media platforms. It doesn't take much. One button, hit the share. Hey, I think you should watch this because, or hey, I just think you should watch this. Check this out. Right? And enough people send it out. Enough people actually get to click on it. That's how we build our community. That's how we get to 10,000. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you. I'm way over as usual. I told you it was going to happen. I always forget to take in the time and the account of the super chats. I really do. And every week the super chats are growing. You guys are fan-friggin-tastic, right? We might be able to start doing some bigger things here if we continue on this path. So thank you guys. Don't forget the Venmo. Don't forget the Patreon. As little as $5 to be a Patreon member, as little as less than $2, $1.99 a month to become a channel member on YouTube. That would be fantastic. To the people on Facebook, I love you. To the people on YouTube, I love you. To the people on Twitch and Instagram, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much for your fight and your passion and your involvement in just the political ecosphere that is United States politics and the lefty progressive movement that we're in. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys so much. And should we go out one more time? One more time with it, all right? One more time.
You will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
And you can be damn sure that Boston Brian and the people here at Blunt Politics are not going quietly into the fucking night. If anything, we are getting louder, we are getting prouder, and we are getting more aggressive with our progressive message. Okay? A-G. Right? What's A-G-G-R-E-S-I-V-E? Let's go. Aggressive. B-E, aggressive. B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E, aggressive. Aggressive. I can't believe I just pulled that out, but I had to remember it. I said it wrong the first time, and I wasn't going to let it slide. But yes, that is the point. Get aggressive. Get loud. Get proud, right? This is the time to scoop people in. Don't shout. Don't shun people, right? If they disagree, politely and tell them, hey, this is the facts of the matter, right? Get involved in your local communities. Do these things. Make sure you're involved. I love you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to stop taking up your time. Let's go till Wednesday. Wednesday night, we're back at it like a crack addict. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Again, see you guys Wednesday. And again, before I leave, I just want to make sure that everybody knows the January Zooms. So the 13th is going to be the Gen Pop, right, as we call it, the Gen Pop Zoom on the 13th, and then the VIP, if you sign up for the VIP level on the Patreon, which is just a blessed thing, and you would be an absolute angel for doing so, is on January 27th. And again, these Zooms, we just talk shit and shoot the shit and talk about your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, your kids, whatever the fuck you want to talk about other than politics. It's a good way to kind of get face to face, so to speak, and really get in a down to earth conversation about things other than politics to get your mind off it. And I really would appreciate anybody who signed up. I thank you guys. I love you guys. And I think again, one of these things would work, right? I think it's this one. Love you guys. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics.
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
Fucking Nazis.
The dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. What in the hell was that all about? He says rectum damn near killed him. Never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. They were Obama. I'm just an average
guy who read public documents where the elite said they were going to enslave us and destroy America. And I'm not going to be like yuppies coming to deny the threat to my country. I'm going to fight back.
Listen, you want the fucking cheddar cheese? Well, you want the mozzarella? You want the cheddar? You want the cheddar cheese in the car? You want the back of the car so we can go to the bar to have a beer? Right? Is that what you want to do? Because we could do that too. Again, you ask and you shall receive over Evo. Thank you. Take it easy, guys. Love you.
There's no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist.
My superpower's being honest. I will eat my neighbors. Cacophony, a crescendo, a finale, a coup de grace.
Fuck, Brian.
Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job!
Taking him back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses.
Sit down when you pee. White people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones. Is there anything worse than white people?
Go fuck yourself.
Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable, I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. But China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain. You'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47s. I know that gun very well. I got to know it. I am the chosen one.
I said mud. I said crud. You fall into some crud or something?
Man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
No, get those lights off. Off. Turn them off.
Again, one button, Bri. Literally one button you have to press, and you just can't do it. I just cannot get away from you. I love you that much. This just StreamYard will not let me get away from you. That's how it works. It's actually not how it works, and I just keep forgetting to hit that button. That makes it loop. That's all it is. Literally all it is.
To my hands, if they're small, something else must be small.
He's always calling me Little Marco. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me, he's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2".
He builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers. He'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it. I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it.
Water coming here is dead. We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel. And welcome to our country from the Congo. Where do you live in the Congo? We live in prison. Oh.
The population in Thailand is 63 million people. It is twice the size of Wyoming. Its chief exports are textiles, footwear, and rice. Each year, approximately 13,000 people are killed in car accidents in Thailand.
Welcome.
You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things. Like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things.
You will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake. He lost his great general. And they were fighting. Never fight uphill, me boys. But it was too late. We're a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your...
Thank you, Jennifer Ellsworth. Just became a Patreon member. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate you guys. Every last one of you that supports me. I really do appreciate it.
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. Everything's okay, Suzanne. I'm